On day 1, I spawned in as Monkey D. Luffy, the rubber boy with a straw hat. Yo ho ho, I'm going to be the future king of the pirates. But it looks like I'm just a little kid for right now. At least my dreams are big. I gotta go find some good food to eat so I can grow up to be super strong. But there's nothing around this village but coconut trees. Whoa, a storm is rolling in. I better take cover. Is that a lightning bolt or a person?
Avast ye straw hat, Zozo. I be Captain O'Kilowatt, and you've had the misfortune of washing ashore of me island. Here you will be doomed to wander the many dangerous terrains in search of me greatest buried treasure. If ye succeed within 100 days, ye may keep what ye find. But if ye fail, ye will never be allowed to leave.
Buried treasure? Well, Monkey D. Luffy is a pirate, so that treasure is as good as found.
Ye had better hope that you find it, or ye will never voyage on the sea again.
Challenge accepted, you stormy scallywag.
Good luck, Zozo. You'll need it.
Captain O'Kilowatt laughed evilly and rained down lightning on the village, so I ran for cover. He attacked several houses and even wiped out the villagers. Talk about no mercy. I have no idea how big this island is, but I'm going to scour every block of it until I find that buried treasure. The dangers ahead are completely unknown, but I will face them with a bravery suited for the future king of the pirates. On day 2, I started to explore the nearby tropical forest. I have 6 hearts right now, so I need to stay in the least dangerous areas for right now. Who knows, maybe the buried treasure is in the easiest place to find it. That would be one crazy trick, wouldn't it? Oops, did I say this forest wasn't dangerous? What I meant to say was, it's filled with ghosts. Somehow, they kinda look familiar. Are you guys the ghosts of the villagers from back there?
Yes, we are. Why couldn't you have been hit by that lightning instead of us?
Just lucky, I guess?
Not for long, Zozo, because we ghosts are going to haunt you.
Oh no, I can't punch ghosts, and I don't have any weapons that can affect them. I gotta run to safety. Ah, get away from me! All of a sudden, I saw something swoop down from above. It picked me up and carried me away from the ghosts. When I got my bearings, I saw that I was at the top of a tall tree. There was a bird with a colorful beak in front of me. Were you the one who saved me?
Yes, sir. I'm Stan. Stan the Toucan. And whenever there's someone in trouble in this tropical forest, I come to the rescue.
That's cool, man. I'm Zozo. Want to join my pirate crew?
Sure can, man. Every great pirate needs a bird sidekick after all.
I'm looking for the buried treasure of Captain O'Kilowatt. Do you know anyone who can help?
I just might. Follow me.
On day 3, Stan the Toucan took me to a small workshop among the trees.
Wait until you meet my friend, Titus the Armorer. He makes all sorts of useful items.
Sweet! An armorer could be useful to have on my pirate crew. Yes. He could make me items and gear fit for a pirate king. I looked around and saw lots of really awesome armor. Did you make these all by yourself?
Sorta kinda, my good pirate. I do the crafting, but it takes brave adventurers like yourself to gather materials for me. I've had loot brought to me from all the terrain on this island, and I always take what I'm given and make it into something better.
Neat! I've accepted Captain O'Kilowatt's challenge, so I'll be visiting all of the terrains myself. What can you tell me about them?
Well, the main ones are the ancient ruins, the Cloud City, and the Misty Maze. Nobody who has looked for Captain O'Kilowatt's treasure has ever found it. But there's plenty of rare items I can make for you, if you bring me back stuff from each of them.
So, you're saying I should visit each of those 3 terrains in the next 97 days if I want to have a chance at winning?
Pretty much.
I set off for the terrains without a moment's delay. Luffy never passes up a chance to adventure. He also never travels without his crew, so I took Stan the Toucan with me. On days 4 to 5, I was still in the tropical forest, so I made sure to gather wood from the trees. Once I had enough, I made my first set of tools. The wooden pickaxe will serve me well in gathering stone, but I won't be needing them for long, because I'm gonna use that stone to craft myself a set of stone tools. Alright, time to build a base for the brand new Straw Hat Pirate crew. I laid a bunch of wood blocks for the foundation and made sure to give lots of space for all the new friends I'm going to recruit. I get the captain's quarters, of course, and Stan gets a birdhouse all to himself.
I too can believe this base is wonderful, Captain Zozo.
Oh, I get it. 2 can. Well, 2 can play that game, Stan.
Very funny. Believe the puns to me, won't ya?
Gotta put a kitchen in here, too. I may not have a chef on my crew yet, but I'm starting to get really hungry. While I was placing down the chests, I saw a strange item fall out of a tree. Say, isn't that the gum gum fruit? It is! Not only did it fill up my hunger bar, it also made me stretch out like a crazy rubber boy, and I grew to the size of regular Luffy. I've got 9 hearts now. With that much health, I'll be able to last much longer in a fight with mobs now. I'm that much closer to becoming the king of the pirates. Yo-ho-ho! On days 6 to 8, I was on my way to the ancient ruins when I saw a flock of giant penguins. How adorable! Except, they didn't seem friendly at all, because they were chasing someone down, and it looks like another human. And look, they're wearing an enormous chef's hat. Well, now I gotta help. I was so mad that I started smoking, and my skin turned red with anger. Now my fists are stronger than my sword. Looks like the gum-gum fruit I ate earlier gives my punches extra knockback, and I'm going to need it because these penguins totally outnumber me. I need to hit them quickly and then dodge. If they surround me, I'm dinner. With a gum-gum powered punch, I took down the biggest one and the others retreated. March back home, penguins. Don't mess with the future king of the pirates. You okay, chef?
Thanks to you, I am. But how did you know I was a chef?
Just a lucky guess, based on the fact that you are wearing this slightly oversized chef's hat and a chef's apron.
You got me. I am a chef, named Skylar. I'm going to the ancient ruins to find a spice that can really cook my cooking up another notch. Wanna come with? I could really use a bodyguard.
Sure, I'm headed there myself, looking for treasure.
Personally, I think food is the greatest treasure of all.
I like both treasure and food, for different reasons, of course. I can't eat gold. Or can I?
You really shouldn't try to eat gold. It's not food.
I'll take your word for it. You are the chef, after all. On days 9 to 10, I arrived at the ancient ruins, the first of the dangerous terrains that I must explore to complete the challenge. Before going any further, I decided to consult my loyal crew. So, Stan, Skylar, are you excited to explore the ruins?
You know it, Captain Zozo.
Excited? No. Eager to find the ingredients? Yes. Remember, this place is dangerous.
What are you so worried about?
It starts with that giant dinosaur right behind you.
I thought these guys went extinct years ago, but it seems like I might be the extinct one if I don't get out of here. Ouch! That bite took away a lot of hearts. If only I knew how to use all of my different gum-gum powers. Skylar has a weapon, but even together we're no match for this dinosaur. We've got to run away and fight another day. My crew and I ran away from the ancient ruins. Captain O'Kilowatt wasn't kidding around when he said these terrains were dangerous. And this one was only the first one.
That was pretty brave back there, Zozo. Even if you didn't win.
My hunger meter was getting low again, so I decided to go back home and grab a bite to eat, which would be a lot easier now that I had a chef on my pirate crew. On days 11 to 12, I made sure that Skylar felt right at home as the head chef of the new Straw Hat crew. I built her a small house and made the food preparation area even bigger. To make sure we had plenty of ingredients, I also constructed an outdoor farm and a flower garden where we could grow plants and made pens where we could keep animals for meat. Of course, no pirate base would be complete without a flag to tell intruders who we are. The skull and crossbones mean business. Yarr! We'll be heading back to the ancient ruins in a few days. Anything else I should know about that place?
I heard that Captain O'Kilowatt has members of his own pirate crew guarding each of the terrains.
No way! He has a crew of his own?
Yes, and you are going to become a part of it if you fail the challenge. At least, that's what happened to all the other ones who tried it before.
He forces people to join his crew? That's terrible. I can't let that happen to me.
Just be careful, Zozo. The other pirates thought that way too, before he got them.
Don't worry about it. I'm not like those other pirates. I'm gonna be king of the pirates. I can talk big, but these former challengers would all be strong opponents. I had to get in gear to face them. I decided to train my battle skills by fighting some cave centipedes underground. I gave their legs to Titus the Craftsman, and he was able to make me a special suit of armor that could climb walls. That'll come in handy later. On days 13 to 15, I was in the tropical woods when I realized I needed a new way to train. Stan, what should I do in order to get stronger? I need to become powerful enough to take on the dinosaur in the ancient ruins.
Have you thought of going to one of the other dangerous terrains first? Maybe you'll be able to find something to help you there.
That's a good point.
Might I recommend the Cloud City? With your new climbing ability, you should be able to get up there through the mountains.
I'll leave right away. I set off for the highest point on the map, climbing the walls with my centipede leggings until I reached the top. At the top of the mountain, it started to snow, and visibility decreased. But wow, this place is amazing! There was a bridge connecting the Cloud City to the top of the mountain. Who knew there were materials that could be used to build buildings on top of clouds? I'm definitely gonna have to take some of these special blocks back with me. I better grab them fast, because I can hear something inside the city. It looks like I've got company. An ice gas is flying towards me.
So you must be Captain Zozo. I'm afraid you won't find any treasure here.
Are you a member of the Kilowatt crew?
Yes, I am Ghastly Gust, the keeper of Cloud City. My wind powers will blow you away.
I could feel Ghastly Gust attempt to launch me off of the mountain, but I didn't give in. This was a fight I had to win if I was going to complete the challenge. The Ghast had ice ball firing abilities, which trapped me in ice and slowed me down, while also hurting me. With my Gum Gum abilities, I was able to stretch upwards and reach the gas. This way with my punches, I pummeled Ghastly Gust. When I took him down, he dropped some sort of weird key. I wonder what this opens. During the fight, it seems like I had achieved a new level of strength. I decided to return to the base and placed one of the cloud blocks on the ground. Nothing happened. Oh, this thing is broken. I want a refund. I started jumping on it, and I suddenly leveled up. Sure enough, I was faster, stronger, and could jump 2 blocks higher. Whoa, I've gone to 2nd gear. In this most powerful form, I have 21 hearts. The training was a success. On days 16 to 19, I went to explore the Misty Maze. Since I had defeated a member of Captain O'Kilowatt's crew at Cloud City, I figured I could do the same here. True to its name, the Misty Maze was easy to get lost in. There were also skeletons everywhere, which is never a good sign. Speaking of signs, I found a mysterious note inside of the treasure chest along with another key. The note said, "I have searched throughout every corner of the Misty Maze, and there is no trace of Captain O'Kilowatt's buried treasure. I did find this key though, so whoever finds this treasure chest might have a chance to use it." What were these keys? It looked just like the one the Ghastly Gust dropped. Suddenly, I was attacked by the skeletons. They must have been guarding this treasure chest for Captain O'Kilowatt. Take this! You can't stop 2nd gear. I found my way out of the maze with the key in hand. On days 20 to 22, I went to the beach on the edge of the island and fought some aggressive walruses. They weren't that tough now that I had gotten stronger, so I was able to gather their tusks as material. I mined some pearl blocks so I could trade it to the craftsman in exchange for a better helmet and boots.
Here you are, Zozo. New and improved armor for a pirate captain.
Thanks, Titus. With stronger defenses, I went back to the ancient ruins. I had the feeling that I could find a 3rd key there. The dinosaur last time was still roaming around, but I was geared up in more ways than one. I made short work of it. Wow, I really have gotten stronger.
But not strong enough.
Who are you?
I am Anubis, the true guardian of the ancient ruins. I've been sent by Captain O'Kilowatt to defeat you here and now.
He must really want to protect that buried treasure. Let me guess, it's here, in the ruins?
You wish. The treasure is in a place where you'll never reach.
Was the buried treasure not in any of the terrains I'd been to so far? Just then, Anubis was struck by a lightning bolt. It was Captain O'Kilowatt. But why did he attack his own crewmate?
You were a fool to give away clues so easily, Anubis. I have no room on my crew for fools.
I was tempted to fight him then and there, but I knew I wasn't strong enough. So I just grabbed the key he dropped and ran away. On the way out of the ruins, I grabbed some spice from the ground. Just what Skylar was looking for. On days 23 to 26, I returned to the base with all 3 keys and also the spice for Skylar.
Thanks, Zozo. Now I can complete my ultimate recipes.
Let me know if you make anything with meat in it.
You still have to catch some animals if you want a meal to happen.
Well, you're the boss, Skylar.
No, I am the chef. You're the boss.
I thought I was the captain. With the previous dangerous terrains unguarded, I could now gather materials from all of them. But first, I went into the cave to mine some iron ore so I could upgrade my stone tools to iron ones. That way I could mine even deeper. Just because I know there isn't treasure doesn't mean I shouldn't dig. I decided to go back to the ancient ruins where there are stone brick blocks. These are perfect for building a sturdier wall. And now, I was even able to build floating buildings just like in Cloud City. Borrowing some of the designs I saw in the Misty Maze, I created a series of secret passages that could be used to mislead any enemy pirates who tried to sneak into the base. Skylar came out of the house to give us a leash to help with the animals. I could use it for capturing animals, and I made sure to gather up some of the tastiest creatures I could find. I buffed up my defense by building a wall out of the strong blocks I had found. Even though the base was coming along great, I still wondered what to do with the 3 keys that I had gotten from fighting Captain O'Kilowatt's crew. I'd have to explore the island tomorrow and see if there was a way I could use them. On days 27 to 31, I traveled to a part of the island I had never been to before. It was a valley covered in smog. I wonder where it's all coming from. Even though it was hard to see, I could sense somebody sneaking up on me. Who's there? A pirate I had never seen before stepped out of the smog.
Oh no, I've been found! Forgive me, Captain.
It's okay. I'm not going to hurt you. Probably. Who are you?
My name is Jovi the Ice Pirate. I'm a member of O'Kilowatt's crew, but I can't stand by and let him imprison other pirates anymore.
You should come back to base with me. It's much safer out there than hiding in this smoke cloud.
Okay, I'll bring my special materials as well. They can only be found in this valley.
Jovi went to mine some of the material, and I left the smog valley with him to return to the base. His special material, bronze dragon scales, were perfect for crafting an even stronger suit of armor. In the meantime, I added another tower to the base, and of course, more pirate flags. I also gave the outside of the wall a decorative wooden layer to make it look more like a pirate ship on land. Wow, that's perfect! Then Jovi came walking up to me and gave me a few samples of the bronze dragon scales. Now to go see Titus about that armor. I went to visit the craftsman and showed him the special materials. It seems like they brought back memories for him.
These materials come from an island far away from here. They're from a suit of armor I made back when I was undertaking the challenge.
Wait, these are your materials?
Yes, and the armor I built using them was one of my best. It belonged to a very dear crewmate who is sadly no longer here.
I'm so sorry, Titus. Do you think we'd be able to rebuild the armor?
We have to go back to that valley. The rest of it could still be down there.
On days 32 to 35, Titus and I went to the smog valley and searched for the remaining pieces of the armor. The smog was so thick that it made it difficult to find anything, but it turned out that it was coming from some kind of huge factory. I noticed there was a door on the side of the factory with 3 keyholes. Those must be where the 3 keys go. Just then, we were ambushed by several giant trolls from the smog. There's so many, how can we stand a chance?
Captain Zozo, you must unlock the door. I'll hold them off.
But Titus, you're not strong enough.
Who do you think I am, Captain? I am the craftsman, and these are my crafts.
Just then, Titus equipped a really cool set of armor I'd never seen before.
Now go, find out what's in there.
I ran to the door and unlocked it, knowing that I may never see Titus again. His armor could survive the attacks of those giants, but not for long. Using the time Titus bought me, I put all 3 keys into the door and it began to open. Yes. Titus, come on! It's not too late! But it was. I turned and saw him fall to the ground after an extremely hard hit from the giants. Titus! I ran in and knocked down one of the giants, surprised at my own strength. But the next one hit me and took away most of my hearts.
Captain, I've done all I can. Equip my armor. It's the only way.
Okay. With Titus's enchanted armor, I fought back against the giants, fueled by the rage at what they did to my friend. When they were all defeated, the armor vanished into thin air. It was gone, and so was Titus. On days 36 to 39, I went through the large door that led to the factory. It was dark inside, but I soon found a light switch. I flipped it on and saw this place was up to something really sinister. Giants, like the ones outside, were being modified on a conveyor belt to become tricked-out cyborgs. These must be Captain O'Kilowatt's secret weapons. What is he planning to use them for?
Beep boop. Intruder alert.
Uh-oh, an evil robot. Time to show no mercy. I hit the mechanical menace hard, and he was launched back. Yes. I was ready to go for round 2 when the robot seemed to stop fighting.
Where am I? Where's the rest of my crew? Where's Titus?
You knew Titus, Mr. Robot Man?
Yes, we were members of the same pirate crew. I was captured here and turned into a cyborg.
No way! That's terrible! I wondered if O'Kilowatt would do the same to me and the rest of my friends if he captured me.
Captain O'Kilowatt's first mate did this to me with his powers. He's a man named Retro Gary who ate the Borg fruit. He has my real body. We have to get it back.
Don't worry, we will! For Titus.
Thank you!
It seems like I was able to snap Titus's old friend out of his cyborg mind control. Sometimes you gotta beat the mob inside to save yourself. On days 40 to 43, I built a memorial to Titus on the front of my base. Rest in peace, legendary craftsman.
You did everything you could, Zozo.
Thanks, Stan.
This base is the safest place on the island now. We should let some of the good people from Cloud City live here.
Good idea! I built some more floating dwellings inside the walls of the base. That way, the Cloud villagers could live the way they were used to. We went to the Cloud City to invite the friendly Cloud villagers to come live with us, and they agreed. There are so many people living at the base now, and all of them are counting on me to find the treasure. I can't let anybody down. I promise I'll become the king of the pirates.
I believe you can do it, Zozo.
Oh, hi, Jovi. How are you liking the base?
I'm really grateful for the fact you took me in. I also thought I should tell you where you can find more of those materials I brought with me.
You mean the pieces of Titus's armor?
Yeah, there's more of it at my old hideout near the Smog Valley. It's in a badland where Captain O'Kilowatt tests his lightning powers.
Sounds like I'll need to be careful, but it means getting the rest of those materials. I have to do it. For Titus! If I could complete that armor, I'd be able to face Captain O'Kilowatt and his secret weapons with my friend's ultimate work. I prepared for a journey to the Badlands. On days 44 to 49, I traveled to the Badlands. Lightning strikes had destroyed this place. There were no mobs anywhere, not even friendly ones. But there was Captain O'Kilowatt. He was practicing his lightning strikes, just like Jovi said.
I see you there, Zozo. You're almost halfway out of days to complete my challenge. Are you sure you want to take me on now and cut it short?
I'm only here for the rest of Titus's armor, O'Kilowatt. I'll deal with you later.
Oh, how brave. But I'm afraid you have misunderstood whose armor it is. I am the one who controls the island, so everything on it is mine. I have already gotten those materials for myself, and I'm going to use them for my secret weapons.
You mean those cyborg giants?
Yes. In fact, I have a prototype for you to play with right now. Enjoy, Straw Hat Zozo.
Captain O'Kilowatt disappeared by summoning lightning on himself, and one of those giant cyborgs showed up, armed with special futuristic enchantments. I was not going to back down. The cyborg was big and had a huge reach, but I was quick and ran around to avoid its attacks. I launched a barrage of second-gear punches at the cyborg, toppling it over. Some secret weapon you are, you belong in the recycle. But even that wasn't enough. The giant cyborg started chasing me towards a rock wall. On days 50 to 53, I was backed into a corner. The giant cyborg was still attacking me in a canyon. I climbed up the wall with my centipede leggings and dropped down to strike from above. Gum Gum Battle Axe! That one looked like it did some real damage. I had to keep going while I had the advantage. The mob was really strong, but I managed to knock it out with some more punches. Man, that was just one of those secret weapons. If more were unleashed, I don't know how I could win. I need to go home and eat some good food. I couldn't worry about that now though, because the giant had dropped some of Titus's armor pieces. When I touched them, I could see Titus and his crewmates in the past. I could see them exploring all of the Misty Maze, Cloud City, and the ancient ruins. All of them were wearing powerful suits of armor. In the ancient ruins, Titus even knocked down a tree with only one swing. That's how strong he was. It seemed like they almost defeated Captain O'Kilowatt back in the day, but Retro Gary helped out and turned Titus's friend into a robot. He destroyed the armor, and using a slingshot, he scattered the pieces of it throughout the Badlands in the valley. I had no idea Titus had been holding on to so much sadness. I'll make sure to complete the challenge so that nobody will ever have to face a defeat like that here again. On days 54 to 57, I made my way back to the factory to see if I could learn any more from Titus's robot crewmate. When I arrived on the inside and flipped the switch, I saw that a bunch of the giants had broken the conveyor belt and started to run free. This is probably bad for Captain O'Kilowatt in the long run, but it's bad for me right now. Those giants seemed really angry.
Looks like you could use some help.
Thanks, Robo-Man.
A friend of Titus is a friend of mine.
Working together, we managed to defeat the ordinary giants. They dropped some kind of giant power-up too. I suddenly grew bigger and became Luffy, 3rd gear. Yo-ho-ho! It looked like I arrived at the factory just in time too, because the conveyor belt was filled with the rest of the armor shards.
I wore these once when I was fully human. They belong to you now.
Thanks, Robo-Man. I promise to get your body back. When I finally made it back to the base, I went to Titus's chest and picked up the last armor pieces I needed. In the chest, I also found Titus's hammer. I went to the crafting table, and doing the best I could, I put the special armor back together. Somehow, it felt like Titus was watching over me, guiding me through the crafting process. I swung the hammer over the pieces on the crafting table, and the recipe was complete. I equipped the armor, and it looked like it would protect me really well. Almost a bit too much. The helmet provided so much protection, I could barely see out of it. Maybe for now I'll take the helmet off. I like being able to see where I'm going. Now that I had put on the restored suit of armor, I saw another vision of the past. Titus was digging into the ground at the tropical forest. What did this mean? Should I try to search for treasure there? On days 58 to 62, I stocked the animal pens and loaded up the farm with all the delicious ingredients I found while exploring. Onions, rutabaga, sweet berries, and beetroot. Now the meals for my crew would be the tastiest of all time. Skylar made a big meal for everyone at the base. We set up a large picnic table, and for once, things were peaceful around here.
Bon appetit. Enjoy your feast.
Oh boy, there's meat, veggie, all of the food groups. This is the best. After dinner, I decided to mine so that I could have powerful tools to match my new set of powerful armor. Since one of my moves is called Gum Gum Battle Axe, I figured along with the rest of the tools, I could craft a diamond battle axe to use for chopping wood and enemies alike. They'll never see this coming. I decided to have the inside of the base look like a pirate ship to match the outside, and lined all the inner walls with dark wood. I made sure to keep lots of chests around to fill with gold. Can't have a pirate base without any treasure of our own. When all of this is over, I'll have Kilowatts treasure in here too. On days 63 to 66, I went back to the tropical forest with Stan to see if maybe we could find the spot where Titus had been digging in the flashback. I don't see anything that looks like that place. What about you, Stan?
Why are you asking me? I didn't see the flashback.
Oh, yeah, right.
You did say he was digging, so maybe you should try that hole over there.
This looks a little deeper than the… Whoa, I'm falling in! I tumbled down into the shaft, leading deep down below the ground. If I hadn't caught myself with my wall climbing, that might have been it. But look at this place. There's a huge, empty chamber lit by torchlight. That's weird. It feels like there should be something in here. I dug around on the floor and found an unusual sarcophagus hidden among the rocks. It flung itself open, and out came a mummy. Back off, you gift-wrapped meanie!
Thank you for setting me free. I've been trapped inside that box ever since my captain lost the silence challenge.
Oh, sorry. I thought you were going to attack me. Say, what was your captain's name?
His name was Captain Anubis. I was the most loyal member of his crew. Is he okay?
No, I'm sorry. But I'm putting together a crew to stand up to Captain O'Kilowatt. Do you want in?
Of course. I don't like that guy at all. Also, this place was supposed to be where his treasure was, but he only put me here.
Where do you think the rest of it is?
I don't know, but first things first. You've gotta help me get out of here.
Oh, we can just climb out. Oh, right. Only I can do that. On days 67 to 70, I used the diamond tools I crafted to dig a tunnel leading back above ground. I broke open some of the blocks, and a devourer jumped into our path. It growled and hissed. Please tell me you're friendly too. It definitely wasn't, because it tried to devour me. I guess that's where the name comes from.
If we don't defeat that devourer, we'll never get out of here.
Don't worry, Mummy. I'm your captain now, and I won't let anything bad happen to you. I meant those words too. All the other pirates who came to this island before me may have lost their way, but I made a vow that I'd keep everyone safe. That's how I'd become the king of the pirates, and no devourer would stop me. After I finished it off, the mummy and I continued our progress towards the surface. No other mobs showed up to attack us, so the rest of the journey was easy. Before I knew it, we were back near the top of the hole inside the tropical forest. Stan was waiting for us, and he seemed happy to see that I survived.
Great to see you, Captain Zozo. Well, who's that mummy guy with you?
I was once part of the crew of Anubis, but after seeing the bravery of Zozo, I've decided to join up with you guys.
Well, the more the merrier.
We all went back to the base together and had another delicious dinner to celebrate our crew getting even bigger. It was great to see so many people joining the team. I couldn't help but feel like we were all becoming one big happy family. On days 71 to 74, I was in the Badlands when I saw smog was everywhere again. I decided to take a look around. It's kinda hard to breathe in here, but this looks just like the smog in the valley where I found that factory. That must be important. But what's even more important is that You find more of my adventures by searching ZOZO in the YouTube search bar. I walked for a long time before I saw exactly what I expected. Another factory for making those cyborg giants. I might have stolen back the armor pieces, but it seemed like Captain O'Kilowatt still hadn't given up on his plan. And there he is. I'll have to take him on.
Foolish pirate! Have you forgotten that I train here? Taste me lightning!
He started hitting me with lightning bolts. The armor was helping me avoid the worst of it, but he was too fast for me to get a lot of hits in. I realized I was still too weak to beat him, so I hightailed it out of there. I'll have to return to that factory later, but until then, the Badlands are off limits. That terrain is too dangerous to take lightly. On days 75 to 78, I was back at my base and doing some more work on the interior, mostly by making the dining room bigger and more decorated. This is the place where everyone eats together, so it's gotta look nice. While I was thinking about all the friends that were already here to stay, I was surprised to get a visit from the robot.
Zozo, I've come to help you unlock the full power of the armor you are wearing.
This armor can become even more powerful?
Do you remember back when Titus wore his own special armor? How it made him way stronger than usual, while also granting him protection.
Yeah, I saw both of you use that armor power in the flashback too.
You can use it too. It was powered by the friendship between Titus and myself. That's our secret weapon.
But how do I do it? I became friends with Titus while he was alive, but now he's gone.
But I'm still here, Zozo, and I've come to give you what you are missing. I'm going to give you my friendship.
Right. We fought together at that factory. We're definitely friends now. I accepted his friendship, and the power of the armor began to awaken. At the same time, so did my own power. I grew again, becoming Luffy 4th gear. Now I have 45 hearts. I'm almost strong enough to defeat Captain O'Kilowatt now. I can feel it. On days 79 to 84, I decided to destroy the new factory with my 4th gear strength and supreme armor. For Titus, of course. And also because now, I actually could probably do it. There are a bunch of those cyborg giants, but they were incomplete without the armor pieces that now made up my armor. You're no match for the power of friendship. My crew gives me strength. It was amazing to see how much stronger that I had become. These giants that were once going to be an unstoppable army were now completely unable to beat me. I feel like I can unleash even more strength. Gum Gum Super Jump! I grew massively, so I jumped on top of the factory, breaking through the roof. There were more robots inside the factory too.
Look, he wears the captain's armor.
Were these guys part of Titus's crew as well?
Yes, we were captured and made into robotic servants by Retro Gary. Our real bodies are with him.
Wow, I really need to do something about him. It seems like he's inconvenienced just about everyone.
And how? Also, each of us kept a little bit more special material hidden away, in case the captain ever came back for it.
Excellent! I could use that to make some tools out of it. Goodbye, diamond tools. Hello, special material tools. Now I've got a full set of armor and everything made of a material that gets stronger with friendship. I might as well call this stuff friend metal. On days 85 to 89, I got back to base, only to find that there were mechanized mobs attacking. Could there have been more cyborgs? No way, I thought I got rid of them all. Don't worry everyone, the captain is here to help. These cyborgs were made from the Devourers rather than the Giants. It seems like Captain O'Kilowatt had branched out and started making minions out of other things. They started retreating, but I'm gonna follow them back to the source. You won't get away that easily. I ran as fast as I could until I bumped into someone. It was another human, and they appeared to be carrying a bow and arrow.
You can call me Sharpshooter. I came here from the Island of Snipers in search of buried treasure. I was challenged by a pirate captain who controlled lightning, that if I didn't—
Sorry to interrupt, but I'll need to stop you right there. I'm actually on that quest right now.
Oh, having any luck?
Luck? Not exactly, but I'm doing pretty well at this point.
Well, let me know how it goes if you manage to get the treasure.
Thanks? Personally, I think it has been more trouble than it's worth. The real treasure has been the friends I've made along the way. On days 90 to 94, I found that the cyborgs had gone back to a third factory. Man, how quickly can they build these things? This one was the biggest factory of all, and I could tell why. because Retro Gary was right there, ready to fight with me.
Well, how do you do, Straw Hat Zozo? Your crew has become quite the source of trouble for my boss, so I'm gonna make sure that you're no longer a threat.
You can't beat me, Gary. I've got the power of friendship on my side.
Your power of friendship is no match for the power of my Borg fruit. Cyborg Devourers, combine with me and go into Super Mecha Retro Gary mode.
Retro Gary combined with all of the minions to become one super powerful cyborg. This would be a tough fight for sure, but if I won, I'd be able to get all of Titus's crew's bodies back. I swung my special material axe at Retro Gary, and it seemed to do a little bit of damage. He can be hurt, which means that I can win. His attacks were really strong, but so was my armor. I stood my ground and continued to hit him over and over again. On days 95 to 97, Retro Gary still hadn't admitted defeat, but then again, neither had I.
Borg Blaster!
Gum Gum Mallet! We traded attacks until I noticed some of the cyborg parts were starting to fall off of him. He was getting smaller with each attack. Soon he'd be back to normal, and that's when I could take him out.
Captain O'Kilowatt and I are going to create an army of invincible cyborgs created from the world's strongest pirates. And both you and that armor are going to be our finest work yet.
Me? Become a cyborg? You're dreaming, Gary. But here's a better dream. I'm gonna be king of the pirates. And with one final punch, I smashed his robotic body into pieces. Before his power faded away, Gary laughed maniacally. Apparently, he had one more secret left to reveal.
Zozo, there is no treasure. It was just a story we came up with to lure pirates here to this island. The whole time, our plan was just to gather the raw material of our cyborg project. The other pirates were too weak, so they just became those low-level servants. If only I won against you, we'd finally have a perfect subject.
With that, his power reached 0. Could it be true? Was there really no treasure? Either way, I'd have to take down Captain O'Kilowatt to protect my friends, my crew, and the world from his evil plan. On day 98, I returned to the base and told everyone what happened. To my great delight, all the members of Titus's crew had gotten their bodies back when I defeated Retro Gary.
It seems our friendship with Titus was strong enough to grant you victory in this battle.
It's not over yet. I've still got O'Kilowatt to take care of.
We'll be right behind you.
I stopped by the house to visit Skylar, who had been preparing a welcome back meal for me ever since I left to go fight Gary.
Here you go, Captain. This has all of the best ingredients. It was made as a sign of my loyalty to this crew, and also our friendship.
Thank you, Skylar. I don't know where I'd be without you, and I'd definitely be going hungry. Just then, Jovi and the mummy approached.
It seems you made good use of all that special material.
It wasn't the material, Jovi. Captain Zozo's courage is what allowed him to defeat Retro Gary.
If I'm being honest, I think it was a little bit of both of you guys.
It was material.
No, it was courage.
Material.
Courage!
Okay, guys, I get it. Just stop fighting. I was so thankful to see that everybody was safe and sound after the cyborg attack on the base. Well, almost everybody. There was still one important friend that I had to go see. On day 99, I headed back towards the destroyed village where everything had begun almost 100 days ago. That was the place where Captain O'Kilowatt had challenged me, but now it would be the place that I would challenge him. But before that could happen, I remembered to walk through the tropical forest and say hello to Stan.
Hey, Zozo, it's your toucan man, Stan. It's hard to believe how much we've been through to get here.
You're telling me, friend, but treasure or no treasure, we're gonna see this through until the end.
Somehow I knew you'd be the pirate to save us all. I knew it from the moment you set foot on this island.
Stan and I walked together to the starting point and saw that Captain O'Kilowatt hadn't shown up alone.
Your time is almost up, Zozo. You may have defeated Gary, but I still have a few more giant cyborgs left. And once I juice them up with my full lightning power, they will be invincible.
Yeah, right.
That was Skylar's voice. She was here, and so was the rest of the crew.
We've got this, Captain. We'll take on the giants while you settle things with Captain O'Kilowatt.
My crew sprung into action. I was so grateful and proud of all of them, but now I had to do my part. I was going to send Captain O'Kilowatt flying once and for all. He flew away into the clouds. By grabbing onto Stan, the two of us flew upward into his last retreat. On day 100, I landed on the Cloud City Island and came face to face with Captain O'Kilowatt. You shouldn't have lied about the treasure, or turned people into cyborgs, or destroyed Anubis, or all the other evil things you did. You're a really bad captain, you know that?
Oh, spare me. We're pirates. We're supposed to be the bad guys. We steal things. We're selfish. And we don't let something like friendship stop us from reaching our goals.
That's where you're wrong, O'Kilowatt. I won't even call you a captain anymore. You're just the guy I need to beat before I become the king of the pirates.
King of the pirates. Ha! Keep dreaming.
I will. I'll never stop dreaming. I'll never give up. And I'll never let you hurt anyone else. We charged at each other and began our greatest battle yet. His lightning bolts were as potent as ever, but with my courage to guide me, I pushed through. I channeled my inner anger and suddenly grew in size. Then I landed a 4-gear punch on him. It looked like that really hurt. Guess he wasn't as tough as I thought. He was just really good at dodging. He was at the edge of the cloud, and I punched him super hard, sending him flying to another smaller cloud. I used my Gum Gum super jump ability to get to him. One more attack like that, and you're done.
You'll never hit me again. I'm going to destroy this cloud with me lightning powers. Feel the storm.
Sure enough, the clouds began to fall away beneath me. You can't make me fall. Too bad I had nowhere else to jump. This left me as an open target, and O'Kilowatt launched everything he had at me.
This be the end, Zozo.
No, it's the beginning of my dinner. I pulled out Skylar's welcome back meal and ate it. My health and hunger were instantly restored. Yummy!
What?
Good food from a good friend can weather any storm.
You still can't hit me.
Over here, Zappy!
Stan flapped around near the bad guy's head. That was the only chance I needed. I jumped off my platform and smacked him in the face. Bye-bye, Gum Gum Fist! That did it! O'Kilowatt was sent flying into the distance, never to be seen again. As I fell back towards the ground, I smiled, because I knew there was no way this was the end. My entire crew sat on a trampoline made of cloud blocks to catch me. I landed safely among all my friends. They were the real treasure, one that could never be buried. And as Pirate King, I treasure them always. On day 1, I spawned inside of Gotham City as Batman. Well, Bat Baby, and to no surprise, it's under attack. Being this tiny is a little intimidating with all the fires and criminals running around. It's a giant disaster. Someone needs to clean this town up. Just then, the Joker appeared.
Hear ye, hear ye! In a mere 100 days, I will be launching my new product. Yes, that's right. I will be flooding the world with Smilex gas. Hee. Everyone will be turned into clowns. Stay tuned for the big drop. Here's a little teaser. Hee.
Just then, he grabbed a couple thugs and turned them into clowns with a sample of his clown gas. This clown gas was serious business. I had to get out of there, so I ran into a nearby alley. I have 100 days to figure out how to stop Joker before he sends in the clowns. On day 2, I made my way around Gotham's alleyways, getting to know them. I realized I only had 3 hearts, so I'd have to be very careful. Just as the thought left my head, I bumped into a couple of Joker's thugs. They weren't very friendly. You wouldn't hurt a baby, would you?
Aw, a puny Batman. Let's smash it. Joker will be so pleased.
They had no mercy, and they started to attack me. My only defense was to run. I tried to lose them in the alleys, but eventually they cornered me in a dead end. I had nowhere else to run. I was done for. You'll never get away with this. Just as they were closing in on me, I heard someone call to me from above. I looked up and saw a cop looking out a window.
Quick, use your grappling hook, kid.
Grappling hook? I checked my supplies, and yep, sure enough, I had one. I shot it into the air, it locked onto the window, and I whizzed out of reach of the thugs. That was a close one. Thanks for the life-saving tip. I see you're a cop. Why is there so much crime in this city?
Sorry, champ, but there's no time to explain. Come with me, I'll get you out of here.
On day 3, the policeman took me through a secret passageway inside the apartment and through a tunnel that led to the Gotham City Police Station. So this is where law enforcement is holed up. Can I have a word with whoever is in charge? The policeman took me into an office.
Commissioner Gordon, I have someone here who wants to speak with you.
Yes?
I quickly explained to the man about Joker's plan to turn the world into clowns in 100 days. Well, 97 days to be exact. The man named Gordon was very concerned, but looked defeated.
That's good intel. I wish I had the resources to go after him. I really do. But most of my men are injured from fights, and we are low on supplies. Do you have anyone to look after you?
Mom? Dad! Can anyone help me? No, not anymore. But I'm tough. I don't need anyone.
Well, you won't last long alone. Here, take these.
He handed me a potion of healing, a potion of regeneration, a chicken sandwich, some extra bread, and a smoke bomb to help get away undetected. Whoa, that is super cool of you, Commissioner. Thank you. I won't rest until I have stopped the Joker.
How about I come with you? I know this city like the back of a donut. And there's not much left to do here, sir. I finished mopping the bathroom twice.
That would be amazing.
Well, it's all right with me. Just take care, you two. Joker is not someone you want to mess with.
We'll be careful. We understand Joker is seriously twisted. I followed the policeman back out of the headquarters and into the city. On days 4 through 5, we were back in the city and trying to avoid the thugs running amok. I decided that if we wanted to remain with our hearts intact, we would have to find a place to lie low until we got stronger. The policeman, whose name was Joey, had an idea on a safe place to go. It was an abandoned house outside the city. He called it Wayne Manor. It sounded promising, and so we headed out of the city into the wilderness. As we passed by some trees, I punched a few to craft a table and make some wood tools. Then I mined some stone to upgrade my tools.
Bad baby, we got some company, the hairy kind.
There was a pack of wolves getting ready to attack. We dashed away, but we couldn't outrun this foe. I had to think on my feet. I instinctively grabbed the smoke bomb and created a giant cloud of smoke. The wolves were disoriented, and we made a break for it. We lost them. Wait, there's still one on our tails. I'll handle this. With the help of my stone sword, I was able to defeat the lone wolf. With the battle won, black particles shot up into the air and bats spawned around me. I started to grow into a slightly bigger bat with more hearts. My suit also looks way cooler now. The rest of the wolves had now caught up, but seeing me change before their very eyes scared them off. They turned and ran.
Nice work, kid. Now let's get out of here.
We finally made it to the empty manor. I fixed up a couple of the rooms and called it a night. I showed the policeman to his new room and we went to bed. On days 6 to 8, I woke up and explored outside to get more wood. I ended up near the outskirts of the city and saw a woman being chased by one of Joker's thugs with a knife. Hey, leave her alone! The thug turned his attention to me and came at me. We brawled for a while, and thankfully, I could tell he was on his last leg, and I was able to best him. With the thug gone, the woman approached me.
Wow, no one has ever come to my rescue like that before. Thank you. My name is Vicky, by the way.
Nice to meet you. I'm Zozo. Sorry that guy was chasing you.
Yeah, I'm used to it. You see, I'm a photographer, and I've been documenting all the destruction Joker has caused since taking over. I was getting some really great shots when a monster attacked, and I accidentally dropped my camera, but had to keep running. I'm mostly devastated about that.
That's awful luck. We can go on a recovery mission to get your camera back. I'm down to clown with those clowns. Vicky was so surprised and excited that I would help her. But hey, I am Zozo. It's what I do. On days 9 to 10, Vicky and I waited until the cover of nightfall to sneak back into the city.
Over there.
Vicky motioned to the end of a long alley where her camera was on the ground. We looked around, and with no sign of the monster, I took my chance to seize the camera. Just as I was about to grab it, a big mob jumped down from his hiding place. He was blocking the camera. I could not get to it. I tried to take him on, but he was too strong.
Vicky, we have to abandon our mission. We gotta get out of here.
We ran away until we reached the outskirts of town. We stopped to catch our breath once it was safe.
I'm so sorry we couldn't get to the camera. I failed you.
It's disappointing, but it's not your fault. You're the first person to offer to help me. I'll just have to try again another day.
I'm glad you're not angry with me. Well, for the time being, you're welcome to stay at my base. It's a safe location. Vicky accepted my offer.
On days 11 to 12, Vicky and I returned to Wayne Manor. I asked her if she knew anything about Joker's evil plans with the gas.
I overheard he is planning to release the gas up from the sewers, but that's all I know.
That was a hot tip. Thanks, Vicky. Vicky was going to need her own space in the manor, so I fixed up a spot. I showed her what I had done.
This is the nicest thing anyone has ever done for me.
Ain't no thing but a batwing. I then turned my attention to the fact that I was seriously underprepared to go back to the city. I'd need to get stronger, so I headed out to mine some iron and coal. Then I went back to the base and built a furnace to smelt the materials into some armor and a couple other handy tools. My stomach started to growl. I'm sure my friends were hungry too.
I poked around for some food and ended up finding a cemetery on the premises. There were 2 graves there. The gravestones read the name of my parents. And cue the waterworks. I felt sad that they were gone, but comforted that I could visit their resting places. Eventually, I came across a small wheat and lettuce field. I used the seeds and wheat to lure some cows, sheep, and chickens back to the yard. Welcome to the Wayne Manor Farm. I built them corrals and got them all set so we could have a constant food source and breed them. On days 13 to 15, I wanted to find a way to get stronger, so I asked Joey if he had any ideas.
We need items, kid. Potions, enchantments, protections, that kind of thing. And most of all, donuts. It's the way we cops keep sustained. We hid stashes of this stuff all around the city. I can tell you where to find one.
It's worth a shot. I quickly went back to Gotham to find a stash. After a bit of sneaking around, I reached the location where the policeman said it should be, but it had already been looted. Thwarted again. Wait, what's this? I found a map left behind. I inspected it and it led to a new stash. Hopefully no one had beaten me to it, but the map seemed untouched. That was a good sign. I followed the map. Ouch! What the? I was being pummeled by arrows from a mossy skeleton nearby. I was covered in them. I looked like a hedgehog with those arrows in me. This was not good. The arrows were poisonous. I would have to act fast. I attacked him with all my bad gusto. After a lot of back and forth, I managed to emerge victorious, despite my wounds. With the mossy skeleton out of the way, I found the nearby stash. Jackpot! It hadn't been raided, and there were all sorts of goodies inside. Potions, enchantments, a police badge, and, you guessed it, donuts. There's an inscription on this badge. It says, "He who wears this badge, so also wears great responsibility." I remembered the vow I had made after those thugs had hurt my parents, to do everything in my power to fight crime in Gotham City. I put the badge on. I'm powering up with righteous vengeance. The badge leveled me up and it gave me more health. On days 16 to 19, I made my way back out of the city as my newer bat self. I saw a child on their own and tried to approach them to see if they were all right, but they ran away from me. I trailed behind the kid and saw them slip into a building. I walked up to the door of the building and saw the child with their mother. I stepped into the building and greeted them.
Mommy, I'm scared.
You don't need to fear me. I'm a friend. My name is Zozo.
Leave us alone. My son has already lost his father. We don't want any more trouble.
No, please don't do this.
I felt for this poor kid. I knew what it was like to lose a parent. I'm going to help protect this city and get rid of all these thugs. I promise. I will stop the Joker. As I said this, a couple of thugs appeared behind me. They started hitting me. But being this much bigger gave me a fighting chance. I beat them up until they went poof.
Wowee, you really are strong. You're going to be a hero for our city, aren't you, mister?
I don't know if I'm a hero, but I am vengeance. I am Knight. I am Batso.
I thought you said your name was Zozo.
Yeah, I was trying out a cool name. Never mind. With that, I disappeared into the night and left the city. On days 20 to 22, I fought off some zombies and skeletons on my way back to Wayne Manor. I fought them off with ease. I'm so much stronger now. That was a piece of cake. As I got closer to the manor, I found a cave with some iron. I mined some for later use. Can't have too much of that handy. Finally, I arrived back at the manor and got straight to work, adding some more armor to my suit and a strong iron sword. With this upgrade, I felt much more confident. I think I can take on those earthy monsters that guarded the camera. Once night had fallen, I snuck back to the city and down the different alleyways to where the camera was miraculously still laying on the ground.
And the monster was still there too. He lunged at me and I drew my iron sword. I sliced away at him. It was really difficult to keep my health up. Each hit really dealt a blow. He was not holding back, but neither was I. My armor, although not quite finished, held its own too, and thanks to that, I started chipping away at his health. I was coming out on top. With a final blow, he crumbled before me, and to dust he shall return.
I recovered the camera and inspected it to see if it was damaged.
As I flipped through the pictures, I saw there were videos too. It looked like Vicky had been chased by a group of henchmen. She managed to lose them before taking a final picture.
Wait, the last photo taken on here, that thug, could it be the one that hurt my parents? My head was reeling. On days 23 to 26, I returned to the manor and gave the camera back to Vicky.
You got it back. I can't thank you enough. You really do have a superpower. You never give up.
That's a pretty cool catchphrase. I might have to take that one off your hands. Now that you have the camera, does this mean you'll be going back to Gotham?
Actually, I was thinking it would be great to stick around here for a while. Is that all right? I've grown kind of used to the safety.
You can stay as long as you want.
Thanks. I'm going to take some photos out my window. It's got quite the view.
Cool. I'm going to finish my armor. It's almost complete. There was just one problem. I didn't have enough iron, so I went to a nearby cave and mined a bunch more iron. I took the iron back to the manor and finished up my armor. I made some more tools, too. Once I was done with those projects, I passed the time by upgrading the manor. With Vicky sticking around, I wanted her to feel more at home and things to be less run down. Besides, it would be great to restore Wayne Manor to its former glory. On days 27 to 31, I decided to explore some more, but in the opposite direction of the city. I wandered into a desert. I eventually came across a camel.
Hey, I don't want any trouble, Mr. Bat Guy.
Me neither. I'm just passing by.
Phew! I just moved from Gotham and I get beat up a lot. Some of these humps are just swelling. Can you believe? That's why I'm out of here. But to be honest, life is still tough, you know? I'm a hipster camel. I'm not fit for desert life.
Just then, some husks popped up and started attacking us. The camel was spooked, but I won the brawl with ease. I've got a place not far from here, and so far it's been safe from thugs. You're welcome to join me and my friends. There's plenty of space at the old manor. The camel was relieved to get an invite back to the manor. Since I was in the desert, I had to take advantage of all the sand everywhere. I mined some so later I could smelt it into glass. Once I had enough, I returned to the manor to fix up all the broken windows with the smelted sand. Then I made a cozy barn for the camel. Hopefully this barn will help him stay camouflaged from the bad guys. As I put the finishing touches on, Joey rushed in.
Hey kid, you're gonna want to see this.
We walked outside and saw that in the sky there was a light high in the sky with a bat symbol in it coming from Gotham. It had to be a signal. Gotham needs us. On days 32 to 35, Joey and I hurried to Gotham. We saw that the signal was coming from the police station. It was under attack. Evil little penguins and Joker's minions were setting fire to the station and knocking giant holes in the walls. I should have known the Penguin and Joker were behind this. Joey and I drew our weapons and got down to business annihilating the cronies and flightless fiends. One by one, we picked them off. With the two of us fighting, we could deal more damage, but even that wasn't enough to stop the carnage going on all around us. We fought our way into the building. We have to find Gordon. Head for the elevator. We made it to the top floor to find a hurt Gordon surrounded by bad guys. You want to act crazy? Let's get crazy then. Hi-ya! These punks were no match for the Bat Dude. The name is still a work in progress. Anyways, back to fighting. I kicked their trash with no mercy. We rushed to Gordon's side. He was pretty badly wounded and was the lone survivor of the attack. We had to get him out of there before more henchmen came.
Wait. Ugh. Open that chest real quick before we go.
I followed Gordon's orders. Inside the chest was a Batman armored suit and a grappling hook upgrade. Holy bougie upgrades, Batman! It was time to blow this burning popsicle stand. We helped Gordon escape out of the city and back to the manor. There, we fixed up a room for him so he could have a quick recovery. Joey also volunteered to stay and watch over him. On days 36 to 39, we let Gordon rest, while I harvested food for the growing number of roommates.
Pardon me, sir.
I turned to see a nicely dressed English gentleman meekly standing before me.
My name is Alfred. I used to be a butler for the mansion some time ago. Now that the household appears to be up and running again, I wish to assist as a butler once again. I know a lot about this place, sir. For instance, did you know there's a bat cave under Wayne Manor?
A bat cave? Sounds cool. And of course you can be butler again. We definitely could use someone like you around here.
You might also like to know that there's a giant bat creature who has taken over down there. I tried to shoo him away, but, well, no such luck.
Alfred knew everything. I had him lead the way.
Through this hidden elevator, sir. Straight down. There's only one stop. You can't miss it.
Before going, I crafted a grappling hook. I entered the elevator, and it opened up to the Batcave. More like a massive tech lab with rock walls. This is awesome! There was a deafening screech. I was grappling with what to do next. Wait, my grappling hook! This is like roping cattle. Yeehaw! I was able to cast the hook and take hits at the bat, while also blocking his attacks. We brawled for a while, but I got the last hit. Batcave was safe at last. I heard slow clapping. Alfred was entering the cave. He showed me around the Batcave, including a weapon stash, and how to use the high-tech computer.
We can use the computer to find the source of Joker's gas.
I think we know where his gas is coming from. Am I right, Alfred?
Potty humor is low-hanging fruit, sir. I will work on the findings for the gas, but it will take a while.
Great, I'll grab some weapons out of the stash. I equipped myself with a gnarly hippogriff talon sword, an extra grappling hook, a C4 remote-controlled detonator, and some smoke bombs. There was also a nice Batman suit in the chest. It was slightly better than iron, but worse than diamond. This place had it all. On days 40 to 43, we headed back upstairs to the main floors. I spiffed up the manor and then fixed up a room for Alfred. He was very pleased and promptly took a nap on his sofa. While Alfred snored, I moved on to the dining room to do some renovations in there as well. Home is where the Batcave is. To my surprise, the little kid from Gotham and his mother were walking up to the manor.
I was hoping I'd find you here, though. Gotham has gotten even worse. We can't stay there anymore.
Stay here then. We will look after you two.
Can some other children seek refuge here too?
Bring them all. I immediately got to work upgrading the manor to accommodate all the new arrivals. While I was working, the camel came up to me.
So, I was like totes eavesdropping and heard you guys talking about Joker and some crazy evil gas ploy. I totally saw a sus factory out in the desert that was serving up massive Joker vibes. Like, no joke.
I thanked him for his awesome hot lead. I knew where I needed to go. To the desert to locate that sus factory. On days 44 to 49, I was traveling alone in the desert when I heard a vehicle approaching. It was a mean-looking, dark purple roadster, and it was heading right for me. This could only be one person.
My. What do we have here? It's our little Batsy friend who is ruining all of our fun. Hee hee hee.
Joker.
That's my name. Please wear it out. And don't be such a party pooper. Clowns just want to have fun, you know. I see where you're headed, but I'm afraid you're too late. Hee hee. I already have all the gas I need.
The only gas you'll be releasing is from the prison burritos when I'm done with you.
Oh, is that so? Tell me, have you ever danced with the devil in the pale moonlight? 'Cause I have.
Joker started talking to someone I couldn't see.
Chester, where's your manners? Aren't you going to offer our bat friend here a snack? I was thinking a knuckle sandwich.
Out jumped a creepy clown golem, and Joker sped away, laughing maniacally. Chester was big and scary, but he was just one dumb thug. How hard could it be? Well, I was about to learn. Bring it on! On days 50 to 53, I was going toe-to-toe with this giant armed golem. His thick, long arms really packed a punch, and he had a lot of range. Gah, I need to get close so I can hit him where it hurts. This was my hardest fight yet, but I had some tricks up my sleeve. Hey Chester, I'm hooked on you. I whipped out my grappling hook, pulled him in range of my fancy sword, and slashed him up. And how do you like this? I threw a smoke bomb down to make the golem dizzy and confused. Then I darted around him, dealing him blow after blow. Eventually, the golem started to crack. Now was time. I acted quickly. He didn't even see it coming. 3, 2, 1, kablooey! The C4 exploded as the golem walked over it. He went soaring into the air. You play with the bat, you get the wings. I turned my attention to where the Joker had sped off to. I began to follow the tracks to the factory. Something Joker said was echoing in my ears.
Just another dance with the devil in the pale moonlight.
That's what the killer said. Could the Joker be the same person who hurt my parents on that horrible night so long ago? I kept heading towards the factory. I had to investigate. On days 54 to 57, I finally reached the desert factory. To no surprise, there was a guard out front. Excuse me, did you order a drink? The guard was confused.
No.
That's funny, because you look like you could use some punch. I knocked the guard down. He was out cold. One down, probably a million to go. I marched inside. Inside the factory were large machines producing Joker's clown gas, as well as, you guessed it, a bunch of cronies.
Clowns! Attack the bat!
They sent the creepy clown creature after me. Clearly they had been transformed by the gas. Hey, no funny business now. The clowns were crazy, but I handled them. You know, for a bunch of clowns, you're really not that funny. When the henchmen saw I was defeating the clowns, they came at me themselves. Take it easy. I just want to shut down your entire operation. Chill out. This is the most hostile circus I've ever been to. I loved messing with them while I beat them silly. Eventually, there was only one henchman left.
I'm the ringmaster of this circus, and you just bought a ticket to die.
Ah, Mr. Tough Guy, huh? Let's see how tough you are against my little toys. I hit him with my extra damage sword. Ooh,
That's gonna leave a mark. I noticed the henchman dropped a crowbar and a gas mask. I hope this can protect me from the clown gas in the future. Now I need to search for a way to shut the factory down. After looking everywhere, I found a big lever with a sign. Do not press. Why do we even have this lever? Signed, the Joker. Yeah, I'm gonna press it. I pulled it and I heard all the machines shut down. Victory! On days 58 to 62, I made it back to the manor and thanked the camel for his information that led me to the factory. I saw that the orphans from Gotham had arrived. Welcome to Wayne Manor. Hope you feel at home here, kids. If you happen to find any weapons, don't play with them. With more kids around, there were more mouths to feed. I needed to expand the farm. I'll be back. Gotta run some errands. Did I just become a father to a bunch of kids? Too late to go back on it now. If I can best an iron golem, I can keep a horde of children fed. I found some seeds for planting, then tracked down some animals. Here, piggy, you're coming home with Papa. I lured the pigs back to the corrals so we could have some more meat. I planted the seeds so they could start growing. With that out of the way, I decided I wanted to find some diamond so I could really have the edge when fighting Joker and his gang. If that wasn't enough, once I got back to the manor for mining diamonds, I could tell the kids were a little restless. After the horrors the kids of Gotham had seen, they could use a safe and fun place to play. I decided to build them a playroom. Yeah, this is pretty good. I think they'll like it. Better than the dirty Gotham streets anyway. That was enough building for the day. I was pooped, so I went to sleep. On days 63 to 66, I was sleeping in bed when Alfred came and woke me up. You scared the living bats out of me, Alfred. What do you want? He came to inform me he had located one of Joker's caches of gas in the Gotham sewers. Good work, Alfred. But next time, try knocking. I could have been sleeping in just my utility belt. It looked like it's time for another trip into the city. Alfred walked me through where to find the gas. I prepared my armor and weapons and waited for nightfall. Then I headed to Gotham. I found an entrance to the sewers and jumped in. I snuck through the sewer, trying to remember the instructions Alfred gave me, but I started to get confused about where I was once I was down there. Eventually, I came across a sewer rat. Rats! Guess I gotta take out this aggressive rodent. I drew my sword.
Whoa, whoa, whoa! I'm not gonna attack you. I'm not like that anymore. I'm all about peace and love now.
That's great news. I'm looking for a certain place in the sewers, but I'm getting a bit lost.
Let me guess. You're hunting for Joker's container he's stuck down here, aren't you? If so, I know where it is.
You do? Where is it?
I'll tell you, but I'm gonna need a favor first. You seem like you could help me with my monster problem. It's been terrorizing the rat community down here. What do you say? You down for vanquishing a foe?
I agreed to the challenge and followed him deeper in. On days 67 to 70, the rat and I reached an area with a large pool of sewer water. I don't see a monster.
Just wait.
After some time, I saw something rising to the surface, and out emerged a giant crocodile. The rat scurried away with a squeak. I would too if I was his size, but I was big and strong enough to take him on. Hey Croc, let's rock. It crawled right at me, ready to make me his midnight snack. I drew my sword and swatted away. It was strong enough to cut through his scales. I jumped and dodged its great big snout full of teeth until splash, I fell in the water. The croc is faster in water. Better hurry and get out. Grappling hook, go! I whizzed out of the water and was able to deal a blow from above. I let him have it. He was super strong and got a few good hits at me, but he was no match for Zobat. I got the last hit and he was finished. See you later, alligator.
That was actually a crocodile. But at any rate, I knew you were skilled enough to handle him. Thanks. My rat community can go back to living happy lives. Now, let me make good on my end of the bargain.
The rat led me to where Joker's clown gas was. He couldn't get too close as it was already emitting clownish gases. Luckily, I still had the mask from the factory. I put it on and knocked the tank to bits. The gas was destroyed. Getting rid of that gas has me feeling relieved. On days 71 to 74, I trudged my way out of the smelly sewers, but it wasn't the stinkiest situation I'd been in. To see more on that, check out my other adventures by searching ZOZO. I climbed out of the sewer and saw Joker sitting inside a cauldron. He jumped out when he saw me.
Well, well, well. Looks like you've been busy. Find what you're looking for, Betsy?
Just visiting my rat friends in the sewers.
You're making house calls to sewer rats when I'll soon be releasing my clown gas all over the world? You're the worst Batman I've ever tormented. It's probably why you were orphaned. You aren't very good at being a hero.
My blood boiled. How would you know anything about that? Is this because you're the evil thug that took my parents' lives? I drew my weapon and lunged at him. Joker dodged and grabbed a golf club. He swung it at me and hit me hard in the head. Ouch! He was so much stronger than I expected. Uh-oh. Joker pulled out a bomb and threw it at me. Kaboom! Then he somehow shot poisonous gas out of his hand. I quickly put on my gas mask. Nice try, Joker, but I'm immune to your poisonous gas.
Are you immune to plasma guns?
We both knew the answer to that. I threw a smoke bomb and took the opportunity to escape.
Where did you go, Batty? We aren't done playing. Don't tell me you've run away. Oh, you spineless rodent! Come back and take your beating! I wasn't finished blowing you up! Ugh!
Joker began throwing a fit. He shot his plasma gun and tossed bombs all around him. One bomb landed a little too close to him and blew him backward. I silently slipped away out of the city. On days 75 to 78, I got back to the manor and looked out over my balcony. I looked worse for wear, but that was nothing to the way I felt on the inside. I felt so defeated. I barely escaped Joker with my life. At this rate, I had no chance at saving Gotham, but everyone was counting on me. I was in over my head. I decided to work on the one thing I knew I could help, the manor. I cleared out the cobwebs, sticks, and rocks in the upstairs room. Then I replaced the broken glass windows and rearranged the furniture. That looks much better. I went to the archery range and boxing ring. Getting these in working order would be good for training. I got them looking tight and was ready to call it a day. Oh wait, I need to finish the downstairs hallway. As I worked on the hallway, the boy I had met in the city came up to me.
Hiya, Mr. Zozo, sir. I wanted to thank you for letting us stay here and making the cool playroom. I've never felt this happy and safe in my whole life. Here, this is for you.
He handed me a dirty-looking friendship bracelet. As soon as I took it, I began to level up. This little kid's love was so pure and powerful that it literally gave me strength. This is exactly what I needed. Thanks, buddy. You're my hero. On days 79 through 84, I went off the grounds to try out my new strength. As I walked through the spruce forest, a mob of spiders came at me. And then a short time later, I came across a few Endermen. They were a piece of cake. How do you like me now? A woman dressed in an all-black catsuit came bounding up to me, seemingly out of nowhere.
Meow. Well, hello there, Bat Boy. What's a big guy like you doing in these parts?
What?
What's the matter? Cat's got your tongue?
Something like that.
You look like you're pretty fast. Care for a race to the other end of the forest?
You're on. We raced through the forest. I used my grappling hook to swing through the trees, while the Catwoman swiftly glided, jumped, and flipped through the air. She was fast, but so was I. We basically tied.
Nah, I won by a whisker.
She was one cool cat. After explaining the situation with Joker, I invited her to come to Wayne Manor and be on our team, but she wanted to remain neutral for now.
I didn't say I was a good kitty, but I'll do you one favor. I know where another stash of gas is. I'll destroy it for you.
She assured me she would take them out from a distance, as to not intake any of the fumes.
Here, take these. Consider these a reward for nearly beating me in a race.
Catwoman handed me a flashy new Sword of Fate and a stack of batarangs. Finally, a range weapon. Before I could thank her, Catwoman was out of sight, as quickly as she had come. On days 85 to 89, as I approached the manor, I saw that it was under attack by more penguins and thugs. Not again! I was even stronger this time, though. They were messing with the wrong orphaned rich boy. I started annihilating them. I had pecked them off one by one. That's when Joey came running out to me.
Hey, kid. Whoa, you're not a kid no more, are ya? Anyways, some of the penguins have run off with Vicky. They went that way.
I took off on foot to track them down. I eventually followed them to a snowy biome, and I could see their tracks were fresh. It wasn't much longer before I saw a group of penguins marching along with a distressed Vicky in tow. Without alerting them, I swung in silently and started to kick the penguins' tail feathers. Iced to finally catch up to you guys. They squawked and tried to fight back, but they were no match for my newly upgraded strength.
Brack!
There was one penguin left, and he was much bigger and tougher looking than the rest.
Time to take out the mob boss. Ooh, this bird is not going down without a fight.
I'm a penguin, 'cause I bring the pain.
You're a pain in my rear, that's for sure. We began duking it out, flipper to sword. After we smacked each other around for a while, I finally got the last hit. Now you're a Gonguin. I went over to Vicky. You okay, Vicky?
I am now. Thank you. You're really getting good at this. Those smelly penguins were taking me to their lair as a trap, so you would come get me. They didn't expect you to catch up, waddling at their super slow speed. What a bunch of bird brains.
You head back to the manor. I'll go take care of the penguin, once and for all. On days 90 to 94, the penguin and his minions were waiting around the base.
For tuna's sake, where are they? They should have shown up with the bait by now. I worked hard on getting a Yeti here. I shouldn't have to keep waiting to have the Yeti tear the bat dude limb from limb. Gunter, tell me a joke while I wait.
I had stealthily perched on a high point above and decided to respond. What's black, white, and red all over?
A newspaper.
No, it's you, after being thrown to that Yeti you have in that cage.
Gunter, that was uncalled for and highly unprofessional. Bat dude.
I had gotten the jump on Penguin, and boy was he surprised. I soared down from the ledge and began to fight. It was me against an entire den of penguins. Maybe I was crazy, or maybe I was Batman.
Penguins, attack!
They charged at me, and I began taking blows and dealing hits. The fight was bonkers, so many feathers flying around, but I was knocking the penguins out pretty good. It was then that I saw some ice fly past me. Penguin had an ice gun. He hit me a couple times with it, and I was trapped in ice. With me unable to move, the penguins were able to hit me all they wanted. I'm gonna need a good icebreaker for this crowd. On days 95 to 97, I continued tearing it up in Penguin's lair. I had gotten frozen a couple times, but I had my batarangs now. I dealt trouble right back at Penguin. Eventually, I had defeated all the minions, now to deal with Penguin. I neared the Yeti cage and saw a switch next to it. I quickly pressed it. The Yeti came right for Penguin. His own plan backfired on him. Penguin was toast. The Yeti smashed his cold-blooded captor to bits. Vengeance is best served cold. I searched Penguin's base for anything of use. Would you look at that? A grappling hook rocket attachment. Okay, this was going to be fun. Woohoo! I searched some more, and although I didn't find any more cool weapons, I did find something of great importance. The map to the final cache of gas in the city! On day 98, I mined some diamonds on my way back to the manor. Once I arrived, Joey was excited to see I had made it back safe, and was impressed that I had defeated the penguin. He also wanted to tell me what he had been up to.
I have a little surprise for you. I've been collecting materials so you can make an enchanting area, and now I have everything you need for it. You can thank me later.
I took the materials down to my Batcave and set up my enchantment area. I crafted the rest of my diamond into an armor and a pickaxe, and then enchanted my weapons and armor with some basic protection. I then found Alfred to tell him about the map. Alfred, I've discovered the final location for the cache of gas with the help of this map.
That is a relief to hear, sir, as I have not been able to do it with the computer. I did, however, find some wings down in the Batcave. Here, try them on.
I took them outside, and with my new rocket attachment and wings, I could fly short distances. My bat skills were looking sharp. I bet the orphans would get a kick out of this. I better go show them. I found the orphans. They were playing and running around. They seemed at home here at Wayne Manor. I was happy to see that. I saw Commissioner Gordon and Joey nearby. How are your wounds healing up, Mr. Gordon?
I am healing up pretty good. I'll be back in the field in no time.
Looking out from over the balcony, I felt a very strong sense of pride in what we had done here. But now, it was time to go face the Joker. On day 99, I flew off my balcony and reached Gotham. With the map as my aid, I was able to locate the final stash of gas. I swiftly destroyed it. So long as Catwoman held up her end of the bargain, all of the gas should have been destroyed now. We'll see if Joker finds that funny. I flew into the air and soared around the city, looking for signs of Joker. At last, I found a crazy-looking mansion ahead, and instinctively knew that it had to be Joker's lair. I landed in front of the mansion and started fighting the couple of thugs out front. Then I was quickly overwhelmed by thugs running at me from every direction. Okay, maybe I was in over my head.
Oi! Get your dirty little clown hands off our friend!
I looked and saw Joey walking towards me with a big group of his police buddies. I'd never been so relieved. His squad started taking on the thugs, which allowed me and Joey to go inside and confront the Joker. I'm glad I have you by my side, Joey. Now let's make Joker pay for what he's done to the city.
Gladly.
On day 100, we entered Joker's basement, which revealed a funky circular room. Joker was waiting for us.
It's about time. I was growing bored waiting for you. You going to do the whole thing where you try and stop me? And then I tie you up and make you watch the world descend into madness?
I suddenly remembered the face of my parents' killer. You were the one who killed my parents.
Oh, trust me. I wish I could take credit for that. I'd have to be an old man by now to be the one who killed them. Are you saying I look old or something? Rude much? Evil existed in this city before I got here. Maybe you didn't notice because you were too busy being a spoiled rich boy in your fancy mansion. And evil will continue to be here long after I'm gone. Hee hee.
Goodwill also exists. Before, now, and forever. I will do everything I can to fight the evil I find in the city while I'm still here. You can bet on that.
Oh, I hope so. It makes it so much more fun. Like a game of cat and mouse. You're the mouse, by the way. And you took too long to figure out how to stop me, little mouse. 100 days is up. It's like Christmas Day.
Technically, I don't think you can count day 1, so it's only been 99 days.
No, day 1 definitely counted. It's 100 days.
99.
100.
99.
100! It's my plan, and I decide. I'm pushing the button.
Joker slammed his hand down on the button to release the gas. Huh, that's weird. I don't hear any reactions to the gas. Must be because I destroyed all the gas before I came here. My bad. He pushed another button, and this time, some poisonous gas came rising from the vents. I was trapped in the gas. But again, I just quickly threw on my mask. Any effects it would have had dissipated. Face it, Joker, it's over. You lost.
Oh, it's far from over, Batsy.
Joker pulled a lever on the wall. This caused the pipe doors to open, and a mixture of Smilex liquid and gas came pouring out. Joker stepped into the ooze and gas. He really was mad. Joker started to transform before our very eyes. He was morphing into a giant, super Joker monster.
You know, I think it's time to play Whack-A-Bat.
Joker swung his golf club, bludgeoning me. I used my enchanted batarangs, grappling hook, sword, and C4 explosions to fight the Joker. Joker used his plasma gun, golf club, gas attack, and occasionally some bombs. It was a battle royale. Well, more like a battle carnival. I looked up and noticed a giant chandelier was above us, barely holding on. At the right moment, I threw a batarang at it. It dropped and crushed Joker. He gave a weak laugh and then drew his last breath. Joker was dead. His reign of terror was over. Joker was gone, but as he said, evil still remained. So here I wait in the night to help the innocent and reap vengeance upon thugs of the city. A bat symbol shined across the sky. That's my cue. Gotham needs me. On day 1, I spawned as an itty-bitty fire Godzilla. This is rad. But wait, I've only got 3 hearts. What? That's not rad at all. But when I focus real hard, I can make little fires. Look, I just set that tree on fire. Oh, it looks like I upset the baboons who were living there. They're coming after me. I better hightail it out of here. I ran off deep into the forest. Being a tiny baby fire Godzilla wasn't working out great for me so far. Maybe if I can get bigger and stronger, I can use my powers to help people, rather than just burn their houses down. That'll help me make some friends around here. Maybe that big, tough, warped Moscow will be my friend. Hey, I'm Zozo. I'm pretty new around here. Wanna hang out?
Hey, not so fast, buddy. You wanna hang out here? You gotta pay the toll. Empty your pockets, little fire Godzilla.
But I don't have any money.
Then I guess you better come with me, Zozo. If you can't pay, you gotta work.
That was another bridge I'd already burned. I needed to run before the warped Moscow could get his big, buggy hands on me. I grabbed a few sticks from the forest and hid in a cave. These would make some pretty good torches with a little bit of my fire, so it won't be too dark in here. I proceeded to place down some torches before deciding to go to sleep for the night. I'm gonna need to get a lot stronger if I want to last out here. This place isn't kind to baby fire Godzillas like me. On day 2, I woke up in the cave to find my torches had gone out overnight. It was so cold and dark. What if there are spiders in here? I should get moving. I left the cave and entered the forest to explore my surroundings. Whoa, this forest is huge! So many trees, so much wood to burn. I needed to be careful in here, or I'd set everything on fire.
When I build my own base, it should probably be made out of stone. I needed to break down a couple of these trees and gather some sticks and wood to make a wooden pickaxe. Perfect! This will be great for mining stone! Now I needed to find a good place to build my base. Maybe somewhere around here? Wait, has somebody already built a cabin here? What's happening here? A druid rushed out of the cabin.
Hey, keep your distance, friendo. I just finished this place. I don't need you burning it down.
I'm sorry, I wasn't trying to burn your cabin down. I just needed to find a place to make my base.
Base? What? Are you one of Locknar's guys?
What? No, I'm Zozo. Who's Locknar?
He's a necromancer. He's trying to raise an army of the dead. He and his boys have been harassing people about money around here lately.
The druid returned back into his cabin after bidding me farewell. Money? That sounds just like that warped Moscow from yesterday. He must have worked for this Locknar guy. I better start mining for stone near the druid's cabin. He'd probably make a decent neighbor. By day 3, I started gathering materials for my base. I used my wooden pickaxe to start mining stone in a cave next to the druid's place. Hope he doesn't mind a little construction noise.
Hey, keep down that racket, Zozo. I'm reading.
Now that I know there's a necromancer out there building an army of the dead, I should probably go pay attention to home security. First of all, I took the time to clear out an area and build a big stone wall. This should keep out that warped Moscow if he tries to hassle me for more money. And I won't be able to accidentally burn this wall down either. While I was at it, I needed to get myself a weapon. Maybe I could use some of my spare sticks and wood to make a wooden sword. Hopefully I don't burn it to a crisp. Now I'm looking well prepared. While I was making my way towards the druid's cabin, I noticed something crawling out of the forest. It looked like an elder skulk. Better take care of it before it gets too close to my base. Don't you know it's rude to trespass, Mr. Skulk? Let's go! Hi-ya! With this sword, the elder skulk was no match for me. After I hit it a few times, skillfully dodging its attempts to hit me back, it went scuttling off into the forest again. Nobody beats Fire Godzilla! And clearly that fight made a big difference, because I was starting to get bigger and stronger. I had 5 hearts now, and I could let out a terrifying Godzilla roar! On days 4 and 5, I decided to go a little further into the forest to mine some more stone for my base. The wall was nice, but it wasn't exactly cozy. I needed a roof over my head. I already used some of my spare stone to make a stone pickaxe. But when I ventured out into the deep part of the woods, I ran into an old enemy, the warped Moscow.
You really thought you could get away without paying the toll? You really have no idea who you're dealing with, kid. You don't want my boss to have a problem with you.
Your boss? Is he a necromancer?
You're smarter than you look, Zozo. My boss, Locknar the Necromancer, he's gonna come take over all this soon enough. And if you're not with him, you're against him.
I'd never be the guy who wants to take over a forest by force. I may burn stuff down sometimes, but I'm still a good guy.
Then I guess I've got to destroy you.
And Moscow came at me so fast, I was knocked back off my feet. I pulled out my wooden sword and tried to parry all of his attacks.
You can't hold me off forever, Zozo!
But I was a little faster than he was. Even with my wooden sword, I was able to get the jump on the warped Moscow and defeat him. Looks like I can handle myself decently now. I should probably spend a little more time out of the forest though. On day 6 to 8, I depleted my mine in the forest. At least I was able to find some iron ore though, and craft myself a cool iron sword and an iron pickaxe. Let's just see someone try to mess with me now. But after getting attacked by the Moscow, I wanted to get away from the forest for a while. I decided to take a trip up to the mountain and enjoy that clean mountain air. And I can't burn anything down up here either. It's perfect. But suddenly, a mountain troll approached me, and it seemed like he didn't want to share the mountain with anyone.
This mountain isn't big enough for the both of us, even if you are the puniest fire Godzilla I've ever seen.
I'm just visiting, man. You don't need to be so mean about it.
How dare you call me mean? I'm gonna crush you into dust for that.
He was so big, and he started chasing me. My only advantage was that I was much faster than him, so I could keep my lead. That's where my iron pickaxe came through. With my iron pickaxe, I quickly mined a big hole in the ground, then carried on running. With my trap set, I decided to taunt the mountain troll by calling him a slowpoke. He ran up to me not looking down, until he fell into the hole, and he couldn't climb back out.
A little help in here?
I think you've earned yourself a timeout, mountain troll. On days 9 and 10, I decided to travel further up into the mountain until I found a mountain cave hidden among the rocks. Maybe there will be some treasures hidden in here. Better take a look. I walked into the cave, iron sword at the ready, using the natural light of my fire to light the way. That's when I hit the jackpot. Gold ore deposits. Now that's what I'm talking about. I started to mine the gold when suddenly, despite my fire, it started to get extremely cold inside of the cave. It sent a chill down my spine.
Hello there, little creature.
I turned, and that's when I saw him right there, staring at me. It was Lochnar the Necromancer. Somehow, I could feel the power coming off of him. It was time for me to even the score and use my Fire Godzilla roar. But Lochnar just laughed in response.
Be quiet, boy. Do you have any idea who you're dealing with? When my army walks the earth, every flame like yours will be snuffed out.
I wasn't gonna take that sitting down. I ran at Lochnar with my iron sword and prepared to hit him. But with one strike from him, I was thrown back across the cave.
You're so weak. It's pathetic. You're not even worth destroying yet. Perhaps when you're a little stronger.
And with a flash, Lochnar was gone, and I was left terrified. If even my Fire Godzilla roar did nothing, what hope did I have against him? But it wasn't all bad. I noticed then that I still wasn't alone in the cave. There was a fire villager waiting in there too. When Lochnar was gone, he ran towards me.
I can't believe you survived. Lochnar has been going after all of the flame creatures in the land.
But why? What have we ever done to him?
He's a necromancer. He's trying to raise an army of the undead. And everyone knows the weakness of the undead is fire. He needs to destroy us because we're the biggest threat to him.
Then you're not safe here either. You better come back to my base so we can figure out a plan to stop this. On days 11 through 14, I started expanding my base to make room for my new fire villager friend. Just like me, he was perfectly suited to a fireproof stone house. I built rooms for him and me, and another room where we could hang out together. But this took a lot of stone, and I soon needed to leave the base and mine more. I returned to the mine near the druid's cabin, and even though it was exhausted, it still contained some materials. While I was gathering more stone, I suddenly felt that cold feeling again. Oh no, does this mean the necromancer is behind me again?
Not quite, Zozo. I'm merely one of his servants. He brought me back to life, so I will serve his every order, including destroying you!
It was the Black Death, a plague doctor brought back from the dead. I drew my sword and prepared to battle, but by then, the Black Death was already on me. He hit me and took out some hearts. This guy was way more powerful than me. I ran further into the mine, hoping to find some kind of escape route. But the Black Death was gaining on me. I needed some kind of advantage. Wait, is that a chest? It was a chest. Maybe something in there can save me. I opened up the chest and found a fire aspect enchantment inside. This would give my sword flaming strikes. Perfect! I quickly used the anvil next to the chest to apply the enchantment to my sword. Take this, Black Death! Boom! That got him. The Black Death was set on fire and went running back out of the cave. Fire really does scare off the undead. Safe from the Black Death for now, I traveled back to my base and started making the wall even taller. But now, knowing just how effective fire was against the undead, I made some flaming torches to put on the wall. This should keep out any uninvited guests. On day 15, I went to check on the fire villager and make sure he was settling in nicely. I know from first-hand experience, it isn't easy to be a fire creature.
I find it very comfortable in here, Zozo. Thank you. It's much nicer than having to stay in some damp old cave all day.
So, tell me, what's the deal with this Lochnar guy? Everyone's been telling me that he's trying to raise some kind of army of the undead. Who is he?
Everything you've heard is true, but there's more. People say that Lochnar is over 1,000 years old, and because he's already dead, he can't be destroyed. Centuries ago, he was defeated by a legendary hero and locked up in the swamp of vileness. But somehow, he came back again, and he's trying to finish what he started all those years ago, making an army of the undead so powerful that he'll rule the world forever.
Can the legendary hero come back to defeat him? It sounds like we really need him right now.
That was a long time ago, Zozo. The legendary hero is probably extremely old now, if he's even alive. No, if we want to defeat Lochnar the Necromancer, we need to find a new hero.
Like who?
Well, like you, Zozo. You survived an encounter with him and saved me back in the cave.
No way. Have you seen me? I'm just a little fire Godzilla. The only reason I survived was because he said I was too weak to be worth destroying. I'd stand no chance against him in a real fight. Do you think I could survive a fight with Lochnar? I think I'd need to get a lot stronger first. On days 16 to 19, I started putting together a plan with the fire villager. If Lochnar is destroying fire creatures because he knows they're a threat to his undead army, we better gather up as many fire creatures as we can.
Great idea, Zozo. If memory serves, Locknar's undead minions were keeping a Blaze prisoner in an underground cavern near here.
Then I guess I better go rescue him. After hours of searching the forest, I found a secret entrance to an underground area, sneakily hidden among some trees. Hopefully I'm not too late to help the Blaze down there. I rushed through the entrance. I made my way into the insides of the underground cavern and took a look around, trying not to draw too much attention to myself. I saw a lava river running through the bottom of the cavern, so my fire wasn't too out of place here. Wait, are those wither skeletons? They were! A bunch of wither skeletons were scattered everywhere along the path leading deeper into the cavern. They must be guarding the prison cell where the Blaze is. I ran in with my new fire aspect sword and started to fight them off as I went deeper and deeper into the cavern. After I took most of them, I unleashed my fire Godzilla roar. It scared some of the wither skeletons so bad, they ran off faster than their bones could shake. Clearly, all of this fighting was worth some pretty great XP, because I grew to almost twice my size, with almost twice the armor and twice the hearts. Maybe I can be strong enough to take on Locknar, with the right training. But first, I broke open the prison with my iron pickaxe and freed the Blaze.
Thanks for getting me out of there. It was really starting to get stuffy.
Don't mention it, buddy. How did you get captured?
Well, I was out here searching for the Kyther of Light when I got ambushed by all those skeletons.
You were looking for what?
The Kyther of Light. It's the weapon that the legendary hero used to defeat Locknar all those years ago. It's said to be the most powerful weapon against the undead in the world.
Oh, wow. Then I should probably start looking for it too. Come back to my base. I want to know more. On days 20 to 22, Blaze and I returned to the base, only to see it being attacked by a horde of zombies. Even the torches I'd added to the walls didn't seem to scare them off. Locknar was making some really tough undead for us to face. Thankfully, with Blaze at my side, the fight didn't last long. With his flames and my fire sword, we were able to take on the zombies and send them back from whence they came. So long, you undead meanies.
It feels so good to be free and fighting again.
Glad you're back in the groove, Blaze. But while the zombies weren't too difficult to defeat, this incident did make me realize our base needed some better defense. Or at least something to scare off potential attackers. That's when I had a great idea for the statue. The perfect thing to keep the undead away. I started working on the base of the statue with excitement. This is sure to keep the mobs at bay once it's done. Can you tell what it's gonna be? And if you want more adventures like this, subscribe to Zozo, because believe me, the best is yet to come. With Blaze here at the base, I've still got to do one more thing, add a new room for him. With me, Blaze, and the Fire Villager all together, we're a fiery force to be reckoned with. On days 23 to 26, the base came under attack worse than ever before. I woke up to find the base surrounded by mutant skeletons, who were bigger, faster, and stronger than even wither skeletons. I ran out with my fire aspect sword and started attacking them, one by one. Each mutant skeleton took several hits with the sword to down. These guys were tougher than any grunt enemy I'd faced so far. A little help here, guys? Luckily for me, Blaze and the Fire Villager were there to help. With the three of us working together, we were able to drive off the remaining mutant skeletons back into the woods. That'll teach you to attack our base, skellies. Oh look, one of the mutant skeletons dropped a bow. Yes. That's perfect. I needed a good long-range weapon for my arsenal. What should I do next?
Zozo!
Yes, Blaze?
Now we fought off the mutant skeletons, you should start exploring the deep dark woods for the Kyther of Light. We need it to defeat Locknar the Necromancer.
Good idea, Blaze. I journeyed out into the deepest, darkest part of the forest, knowing it would be the exact kind of place where Locknar's minions would be waiting for me. And I was right, but I wasn't the only one. There was a fire elemental being surrounded by mutant zombies. The strongest zombies yet. Lucky for me, I had my new bow. I pulled it out, keeping a distance as I fired arrows at the mutant zombies. They seemed so shocked by my surprise attack, they retreated further into the dark of the forest. I'd saved the fire elemental. Wanna come back to my base, little buddy? I'm collecting fire creatures. He seemed eager, so we headed back to the base. I built a new room to house the fire elemental, and built in a new base defense. Large holes dug into the ground around the base, so any stumbling zombies thinking of attacking would fall right in. I'm feeling safer already. On days 27 to 31, I started off by asking Blaze to tell me everything he knows about the Kyther of Light, seeing as it may be our best chance to defeat Locknar the Necromancer.
It's an ancient weapon, Zozo, supposedly created by a powerful group of sorcerers, for if there was ever a great evil they needed to strike down. The legend goes that only someone pure of heart can wield the Kyther. To a being of evil, it's useless.
But how can I find it? Even the most powerful weapon in the world is only useful if it's in our hands.
Perhaps the legendary hero would have hidden the Kyther in the last place the undead would think to look. The Nether.
Oh no, the Nether? That's one of the most dangerous places out there. I guess if it's the only place I can find the Kyther, it's off to the Nether I go. With my sword and my bow, I set off for an old Nether portal in the woods. It's now or never. Yeah, bad joke, sorry. On the other side of the portal, it was all flames and lava. A fire Godzilla honestly looked kind of at home here. What didn't look at home was a huge, scary pigless running straight towards me.
You must be Zozo. I guess you're here looking for the Kyther of Light. Brave kid.
And I guess you're here to find the Kyther too, before I can find it.
You're a smart kid too, but I've got orders direct from Lochnar. Only one of us is leaving the Nether. Let's go.
I tried to draw my bow, but the pigless was too fast for me. I was lucky enough to pull out my sword just in time to counter his attack. Before he knew it, I hit him back and eventually managed to hit him in a way that made him touch lava, and due to that, he screamed a bit and moved away.
You're tougher than you look, but I'll get you next time, you little twerp.
And with that, he ran off into the depths of the Nether. On days 32 to 35, I traveled deeper into the Nether, leaving the wastes and entering the Crimson Forest. Wow, this place is super scary. If the legendary hero really hid the Kyther here, he must have been one tough warrior. The Nether has some of the scariest mobs around, but I was surprised to see a familiar face amongst all the trees and lava. It was a baboon, just like the one I met on my first day here.
Hey, aren't you the one who burned down my tree?
I'm sorry, Mr. Baboon. It was an accident. I'm a fire Godzilla. Sometimes I burn stuff down.
Whatever. It doesn't matter now. What are you doing in the Crimson Forest?
I'm looking for the Kyther of Light to defeat Lochnar, the Necromancer.
Wait, you too? He attacked my family with some zombies. I heard the Kyther might be hidden in the Soul Sand Desert. Let's travel together. We have better odds.
Sounds good to me, Mr. Baboon. We traveled together to the Soul Sand Desert, which was every bit as bleak and barren as the name suggests. I then noticed Lochnar, the Necromancer, standing on top of a floating island.
Hello again, Zozo, was it? Nothing about you was particularly memorable.
You're all smug now, Lochnar, but you won't be when we find the Kyther and defeat you.
You won't be able to find anything when you're dead.
Suddenly, the ground below me and Mr. Baboon began to shake. I drew my bow and fired at Lochnar, but he didn't even flinch. It was useless. If we couldn't escape, we'd be done for. That's when I had an idea. I turned and fired my bow at one of the ghast. That should get the attention of him and his ghastly friends. With Lochnar preoccupied with the ghast, Mr. Baboon and I ran away, back towards the Nether portal.
That was some quick thinking back there, Zozo. You really saved our skins.
I couldn't have done it without you. Come back to the base with me. You can join our anti-Lochnar squad. And with that, we exited the Nether. On days 36 to 39, I returned back to the base with the baboon. I built him a little treehouse because he didn't find the stone fortress as comfy as me and my fire creature friends. I gathered my new basemates together, the fire villager, Blaze, the fire elemental, and the baboon. I needed to hear their thoughts on my hunt for the Kyther. It wasn't in the Nether Wastes, the Crimson Forest, or the Soul Sand Desert. If the Kyther really is hidden in the Nether, where could it be?
You're telling me you didn't check the Basalt Deltas?
The Basalt Deltas? What's that?
It's the most dangerous place in the Nether, Zozo. If the legendary hero really didn't want the Kyther to be found, that'd be the best place to hide it.
The most dangerous place in the Nether? I can't go there yet. The rest of the Nether was already dangerous enough. If the Kyther was really in the Basalt Deltas, I needed to get stronger to get there, and I needed a little more inspiration. That's why I started working more on the statue. I must say, it's coming along quite nicely. From days 40 to 43, Blaze approached me, knowing I was feeling nervous about going back into the Nether.
Look, Zozo, the Nether is a scary place. I know, I used to live there. But sometimes, when you can't fight your way through, you need to sneak.
But Blaze, I can't sneak. I'm a fire Godzilla. I'm too easy to spot.
I know, but that's where my new plan comes in. There's a potion recipe hidden in a book I left in a lava canyon near here. If you can go get it for me, I'll make you a potion you'll find extremely useful.
So that's exactly what I did. I found my way to the underground lava canyon. It was really hot down there, but thankfully, fire Godzillas don't mind the heat. There had to be a chest down there somewhere. If someone left a book down here on its own, it'd just burn up. But my thoughts were interrupted when suddenly a huge serpent tried to grab me. It was a heck of a jump scare. I'm not on the menu, so slither on by, you reptile. I managed to hit it and knock it into the fiery depths below. That will teach you to mess with a fire Godzilla. As I continued to explore, I saw the chest tucked away in a corner. Let's take a look inside. A book! Jackpot! I then proceeded to leave the lava canyon and make my way back to the base. I gave the book over to Blaze, and he made me a potion.
This right here is a potion of invisibility. It might make your journey into the basalt deltas a little less dangerous.
Thanks, Blaze. This is perfect. On days 40 to 49, I made my way back to the nether portal deep in the forest. Here goes nothing. After landing in the nether, I made my way through to the basalt deltas. My friends weren't kidding when they said this place was dangerous. It looks impossible to even build here. I took the potion of invisibility and started to sneak through. There were sheer cliffs everywhere. I had to be careful so that I didn't fall.
Help me, please! Someone help me!
Oh no, is that an illager? What's he doing in here? And why is he surrounded by endermen? I can't just leave him like that. I need to help him, even if it means wasting my invisibility. Still keeping my distance, I pulled out my bow. I opened fire at the endermen, causing them to teleport away. That gave me a window to get the illager out of there. Come with me if you want to live. Me and the illager ran for the hills until we were out of the basalt delta and back in the much safer Soul Sand Valley.
Thank you, kind stranger. You saved me. How can I ever repay you?
You can tell me everything you know about the Kyther of Light. I need it to defeat Lochnar the Necromancer.
Wait, the Kyther of Light? That reminds me of an old poem I used to hear all the time when I was a kid. Who seeks the Kyther, brave and true, venture into the forest blue.
The forest blue. Wait, that sounds like the warped forest. It's the only place in the nether I haven't checked. Come with me, we'll go find it. On days 50 to 53, me and my new friend the illager made our way into the warped forest, one of the slightly nicer parts of the nether. I might have even enjoyed it if we weren't ambushed by that pigless I fought earlier.
Hey, looky here. It's that dweeb, Zozo.
Name calling? Really? That's just uncalled for, man.
No, Zozo. What's uncalled for is you being here. Me and the rest of Lochnar's boys have already found the Kyther, and it's far away from here. You're gonna get destroyed in the nether for nothing.
That's it. You're going down, Pigless. But Pigless pulled a dirty trick. He didn't go for me. He went straight for the illager, taking him down immediately. No, you can't do that.
I can do whatever I want. Let's tango, Zozo.
We clashed again, but this time I was stronger than before. I dodged his attacks easily, and with a few well-placed strikes from my fire sword, Pigless was done for. With him gone, I was all alone in the nether again. Maybe Pigless had lied about them taking the Kyther. I had to explore and find out. There was a bastion remnant, an ancient ruined fortress nearby, and it seemed like the exact kind of place the legendary hero might have hidden the Kyther. Instead, all I found was a great beast, cowering in the shadows.
Is the Pigless gone? That guy dragged me along with him to help him find the Kyther. Most of the rest of our team was destroyed by nether mobs. It was horrible.
It's okay, I defeated the Pigless. You said he made you work for him. Do you have any idea where they may have taken the Kyther?
Tough to say. I think Pigless mentioned something about taking it back to the camp. He probably meant the one in the wasteland, back outside the nether.
Perfect, so at least I know where to look next. Let's get out of here.
Wait, before you go, you deserve a reward for taking out that jerk Pigless. I was gonna use it myself, but here, it's a knockback enchantment. Your strikes will knock back your enemies now.
Oh, finally, some good luck. From days 54 to 57, I returned to my base and started making some adjustments. I added some guard towers so that we could spot any incoming threats faster. Just as I finished repairing and adding the knockback enchantment to my iron sword, the fire villager staying in the base approached me, looking very worried.
Zozo, I need a hand. I've been looking into it, and I've seen that a mutant zombie is skulking out in the forest outside. You should probably go take care of it while I'm working on an extremely important potion.
This would be the perfect opportunity to try my new knockback ability. I ran out into the forest, and just as the fire villager had told me, there was a mutant zombie making its way towards our base. I needed to put a stop to it. Come on, mutant zombie, you're no match for me. And I was right. With the knockback enchantment on my fire sword, I defeated it in no time and headed back to the base.
Great work, Zozo. And here's your reward. I made a potion of slow falling. When you take it, it eliminates fall damage. You never know when that'll come in handy.
On days 58 to 62, I continued work on the statue. I was really pleased with how it was coming along. Can you guess what it is yet? Suddenly, I heard the baboon yell out in panic from his treehouse.
Guys, something is coming towards us.
I looked out and saw a mob coming towards us. Creepers, courtesy of Lochnar the Necromancer. This is bad, this is really bad. But before we could do anything, the first wave of creepers had already hit. Several of them exploded, taking out huge chunks of the defensive wall, and others started crawling through the new gaps. I decided to rush in and finally get rid of the creeper menace. They started exploding again, taking out chunks of the base.
By the time I managed to turn the tide of the fight, huge portions of our base had already been destroyed. When I had the advantage, the last surviving creeper ran off back into the forest. The fight was over, for now. We need to start rebuilding immediately. Blaze, Fire Villager, wait, where's Baboon? That's when we realized the creepers had blown up Baboon's treehouse with Baboon inside of it. From days 63 to 66, hungry for fiery vengeance, I followed the last remaining creeper back into the woods. You and your friends aren't going to get away with destroying Mr. Baboon. I chased him into the forest and saw him disappear down into an underground cavern. I was so angry, I didn't even think about how dangerous it could be to chase a creeper into an enclosed place. I hopped down into the cavern, but the creeper was nowhere to be seen. Instead, I found a book laying on the ground containing a secret note. Invade the base and destroy them all. Any survivors must return to the camp in the desert. G-O-A-W. G-O-A-W? Who's that? Wait, the camp in the desert. That's where they must be keeping the Kyther of Light. It was only then that I looked up and saw the creeper crawling quickly towards me. No time to think. On pure instinct, I pulled out my bow and fired. Boom! The creeper exploded, taking out a portion of the cavern. Lucky for me, thanks to the quick reflexes, I was out of the blast zone. From days 67 to 70, I traveled for 2 days all the way out to the desert. It was a really tough journey, but by the end, I finally saw the camp. It was a cabin surrounded by campfires, with a ghostly figure floating around it. It looked like the ghost of an ancient warrior. Lochnar the Necromancer must be able to raise skeletons, zombies, and ghosts. Wait, ghost of ancient warrior? That must be G-O-A-W, the one who wrote the note. He must be a pretty big deal. As I got close, I noticed there was a gorge in the desert just outside the camp. Better not fall in. I drew my bow and fired at the ghost, but predictably, the arrow went straight through him. That's when he threw through the air and lunged at me. He didn't even talk, he was all action. I managed to dodge and strike back with my sword, but he parried. This guy was a better fighter than anyone I'd ever faced. I didn't even know if I could defeat him. That's when I had an idea. If I'm not strong enough to beat him yet, I can still trick him. Before he could attack me again, I quickly drank my potion of slow falling. Then, when he attacked me again, I jumped back and fell into the gorge. To him, it looked like I fell to my doom, but thanks to the potion, I was just fine. When the ghost finally floated away, I climbed back up to the top. Kyther of Light, here I come. On days 71 to 74, I was finally able to make my way into the cabin being guarded by the ghost of the ancient warrior. Except, the Kyther wasn't there. The cabin was empty. All I heard was the echoing laughter of Lochnar the Necromancer. He was always a few steps ahead. Once again, it all been for nothing. I made the long trek back to my damaged base, empty-handed. On days 75 to 78, I came back to the base and noticed how damaged it really was. It was still heavily damaged from the creeper assault, and I needed to start the repairs immediately, so I did just that. But I felt terrible knowing that now Mr. Baboon is gone, I didn't need to rebuild the treehouse. As I finished up the repairs, the fire villager approached me.
Hey Zozo, I just wanted to say I'm sorry you didn't find the Kyther, but I know you're strong enough to beat Lochnar anyway. I figured this might help.
That's when he handed me a diamond sword with fire aspect, the strongest weapon I'd ever had my hands on. Wow, thanks Fire Villager! It may not be the Kyther of Light, but it's the next best thing. And it turns out that the diamond sword couldn't have come at a better time, because suddenly, the ghost of the ancient warrior had returned, and he was flying at me. Guess it's time for a rematch. But this time, I didn't need any cheap tricks to take him down. Using my new diamond sword, I dodged his blows and struck him again and again, until he burst into ghost vapor and disappeared. I immediately started growing larger and larger, as well as doubling my hearts. But it wasn't just that. With my new size, I gained Godzilla strength, making all my close-range attacks 3 times as powerful. Just then, the fire villager ran up to me.
You did it, Zozo! You defeated the ghost of the ancient warrior! That's amazing! Wait, Zozo, I found this where the ghost vaporized.
It looks like a notebook. The latest note read, Lochnar is nearly at his full power. The final arrangements are being put into place. Destroy Zozo and the druid. Wait, the druid from the cabin? He's involved in this too? On days 79 to 84, I knocked on the door of the druid's cabin to find out how he was involved in all of this. Just like when I first met him, he wasn't eager to have me as a visitor.
Keep your distance, Fire Godzilla. You're even bigger than last time, and my house is very flammable.
I don't want to burn your house down, druid, but I know someone who does. I've seen instructions from Lochnar the Necromancer. He wants to destroy me and you. What does he have against you?
Ugh, Lochnar again?
I thought I was done with that guy.
What do you mean?
I defeated him a few hundred years ago and sealed him away. I figured he'd stay gone for good, but I guess not.
Wait, does that mean you're the legendary hero?
I was, sure, but then I retired to become a druid. It's a much easier life. And besides, you should be fine. As long as you have the Kythar, he won't be that hard to defeat.
But he has the Kyther.
Oh, okay. This could be bad.
After our conversation, the druid led me back out into the forest to find another nether portal. He'd hid another weapon in the nether all those years ago as backup, if ever the Kyther fell into the wrong hands. But when we arrived at the side of the portal, it had already been destroyed.
This isn't good. If Lochnar destroyed the nether portal, it means he doesn't need it anymore. He's reaching the full height of his powers.
What do we do now?
Well, from where I'm standing, the only option is to...
An arrow shot out of the woods, hitting the druid and destroying him before he could even finish his sentence. No, this can't be happening! I turned to see a small gang of skeletons emerge out of the thicket behind us. As they ran at me, I made short work of them with my diamond fire sword. But now, I was out of options and out of time. There was only one thing left to do. I need to find the Swamp of Vileness and destroy Lochnar myself. On days 85 to 89, I made my way out to the snowy landscapes of the north, where I finally found the great beast I'd met back in the nether. As far as I could tell, he would be the only one who could tell me where to find the Swamp of Vileness and finally track down Lochnar the Necromancer himself.
I know where to find it, but it won't be easy. It's beyond the forest, but you can only go at night. And that's the thing. That creep is strongest at night. So if you're gonna take him on, you better be well defended.
That's a useful tip. Thanks, Great Beast. From days 90 to 94, I decided to take the Great Beast's advice and armor up. I used my iron pickaxe to mine some diamonds and turned them into a full set of diamond armor, helmet, chestplate, leggings, and boots. But I didn't want to stop there. I needed some enchantments to really make sure I could take a punch from Lochnar and his evil army of the undead. I gave myself the protection enchantment. That makes my armor twice as durable against close range attacks, and projectile protection, which kept me safe from ranged attacks. Let's see Lochnar take me on now. From days 95 to 97, I finally finished the statue. Its flame could be seen from miles away and should keep all the bad mobs away from my base once and for all. It was a beacon of hope for all fire mobs, a bright, brilliant beacon that could be seen from miles away. And that's when I realized why I had to take on Lochnar and his undead minions. I could either use my fire powers to destroy, like when I accidentally burned down Mr. Baboon's tree, or I could use it to be a beacon of hope, to fight back against evil whenever I can, because it's the right thing to do. So it's exactly what I was going to do. On day 98, I spoke to the fire villager in Blaze about my plan to attack the Swamp of Vileness and finally take down Lochnar.
You can't do this alone, Zozo. You're strong, but Lochnar is so powerful, and he has an entire army.
He's right, Zozo. Why don't you let us come with you? Surely we'll be stronger together.
I can't put you at risk like that. You need to stay here as backup, in case Lochnar defeats me and his undead army escapes. But I can't let that happen. Trust me, no matter what, I'm going to defeat Lochnar and put an end to his evil reign of terror. With that, I exited the base, but was suddenly stopped by someone I haven't met before. Can I help you? He said nothing and dropped me a note and left. The note said, if you want to help me defeat Lochnar, you should subscribe to Zozo and check out our other adventures. You can even suggest what you want to see next down in the comments. Alright, I'm sure with the help of you guys, I'll actually manage to defeat Lochnar. On day 99, following the instructions of the Great Beast, I made my way to the Swamp of Vileness in the dead of night. It was every bit as creepy as I'd imagined. Mist hung low, the mossy skeletons, minions of Lochnar, were patrolling back and forth. I didn't have any more potions of invisibility. I needed to fight my way through. Okay, Skellies, come get me. I want to speak to your manager. That got their attention. Suddenly, waves of mossy skeletons started running at me, while others fired bows at me from a distance. Thankfully, with my enchanted diamond armor, I could deflect most of the damage, and my enchanted diamond sword could destroy them in one strike each. But that wasn't the problem. The mossy skeletons may have been weak, but every single time I defeated them, more just kept coming out of the fog. Don't you guys know when to quit?
They are the least of your worries, Zozo.
It was Lochnar. I could hear his voice, but I couldn't see him. It was like he was everywhere around me.
If you survive this onslaught, come a little further and meet me in my crypt. It'll be the last thing you ever do.
I wasn't going to let him get away with that. No matter how many skeletons he threw at me, I'd keep fighting to the very end. With my sword at the ready and my flames brighter than ever, I moved in towards the crypt of Lochnar. On day 100, I fought through the mossy skeletons and reached the crypt, which looked like a big, rickety pile of ancient stone. But there were stronger enemies waiting for me there. Mutant skeletons and mutant zombies came running at me, but my sword was ready. I hit them again and again, sending one after another down. But just like the mossy skeletons, more of them kept coming. I'm really starting to get sick of you guys. I unleashed a mighty fire Godzilla roar that could be heard across all of the Swamp of Vileness, and it knocked out all of the undead at once. It was just me in the crypt, so I pulled out my iron pickaxe and started destroying it, just to spite Lochnar. But just then, I fell down deeper into the crypt. Oh my gosh, there it is! That's the Kyther of Light! This is where he's been keeping it! I grabbed the Kyther. Now, I was ready to take on Lochnar.
I wouldn't be so confident, Zozo.
Boom! Lochnar appeared behind me, more powerful than he'd ever been before.
Do you really think you can beat this?
Lochnar began to grow as his power increased, becoming a huge, monstrous super necromancer. Like this, he really did look like he could take over the world. But I wasn't done yet. And do you really think you can beat this? I summoned up all of my power and channeled it. My flames got brighter as I grew, taking in the power of the Kyther of Light. I became Ultra Fire Godzilla with 30 hearts and almost unbreakable armor.
You can't do this. It isn't fair.
Life isn't fair, Lochnar. Let's go. Lochnar threw everything at me, hitting me again and again, but getting nothing. Now it's my turn. With one mighty swing of the Kyther, with all my power behind it, Lochnar was destroyed once and for all, never to raise another undead minion again. Safe at last, I returned to the base to celebrate with the Fire Villager and Blaze. Things were finally looking up for all of us. On day 1, I spawned in as an elemental shark in the middle of a tropical rainforest. And before I could understand what any of that even meant, I was surrounded by a gang of terrifying fire elementals, led by a massive magma golem.
Looks like we got him, boss. The last elemental who wouldn't bend the knee for ya.
What? I feel like I'm missing something here. Everyone laughed at me for saying that, and it definitely didn't make me feel good. The magma golem was the only one who remained steely and serious.
I think I'm missing something too. I'm missing the part where you swore absolute loyal to me, Magnus the Magma Golem, Lord of the Elementals.
Who made you Lord of the Elementals? I've never even heard of you.
I made myself the Lord, and if you don't bow to me, I'll make you into Shark Elemental Sushi.
I think I'd rather make myself scarce. Before the Magma Golem or his fire elementals could attack me, I used one of my elemental powers to warp out of there and run away as fast as I could. As if this day wasn't stressful enough, as I was running away, I got incredibly hungry and didn't have any food. Could this get any worse? The only food I could find in the tropical rainforest was some apples, but it was being guarded by an angry earth elemental. Would you be down to share one of those apples with me?
No, these apples can only be enjoyed by servants of Magnus, Lord of the Elementals.
Is there anyone around here who doesn't work for this guy? I fought the Earth Elemental with my bare fins until I gave up and ran away. Finally, I was able to at least enjoy an apple. This is the one nice thing that's happened to me today. What's going on here? On day 2, I kept running through the tropical forest until I was convinced I'd lost the Magma Golem and his nasty gang of fire elementals. If there's one thing I can be sure of in this crazy, confusing world, it's that those guys are bad news. When I felt safe, I punched down one of the trees and made myself a wooden pickaxe. And with that, it wasn't hard to mine down into the ground and collect myself enough stone blocks to get started on a base. I think after all this craziness, I've really earned a roof over my head tonight. I used the stone and wood I collected to start building a base with a basic bedroom and living area, complete with a sofa and a couch. I also made myself a stone sword and a stone pickaxe. It wasn't much, but at least it was something. As long as that awful magma golem doesn't come and try to burn it down. But I soon wished I hadn't said that, because a few of the magma golem's fire elementals came blazing through the forest towards me.
You thought you could escape us, didn't you, kid? Nobody escapes Magnus or his minions. Sooner or later, you're gonna give in to his demands or be destroyed.
But why would I want to work for a guy like him? What is he even planning?
You're not important enough to know that. Come on, boys, let's torch them.
The fire elementals came for me, and I used my stone sword to fight them back until they were nothing more than ashes. I still don't understand what's happening here. What is this Magnus guy planning, and what part do I play in all of this? You better watch to the end if you want to help me find out. On day 3, I decided it was time to investigate what was going on. After all, if I didn't know the truth, I was at a disadvantage. I started exploring around the tropical rainforest until I found someone who wanted to talk to me about it, and that someone just so happened to be a scary-looking monster mushroom named Fungo. To my surprise, he was friendly. Please, Fungo, tell me about what the deal is with Magnus, the so-called Lord of the Elements. He's been hassling me ever since I spawned here.
Ah, that makes a lot of sense. You're a shark elemental, right? And as his name suggests, Magnus, the Lord of the Elementals, wants to get control of as many of the elementals as he can. And if you want to get them too, chances are the only way you're going to be able to do it is by taking the fight to him.
Defeat Magnus? Maybe if I get stronger I could do that, but why? I don't understand why he's doing this.
Well, take a seat on that log over there, buddy, because that's a much longer and wilder story.
So I did as I was told and sat down, but nothing could prepare me for what I was about to hear. From day 4 to day 5, I sat down and listened to the story Fungo the Monster Mushroom told me about Magnus the Magma Golem.
First, you need to understand that golems are always created by villagers. They are not natural creatures, and as such, they are completely at odds with the natural elements of the world. But when Magnus was created, he learned to hate his own unnaturalness. He was so frustrated by it that he wanted to conquer the elements and make them work for him. One by one, he subdued the fire elementals, the earth elementals, the air elementals, and the water elementals. Through their allegiance, he may be able to control all the forces of the natural world. And in order to defeat him before he becomes too powerful, you'll need to master all 4 of the elements and gain their powers.
Oh, just like in Avatar: The Last Airbender.
Wait, you've seen Avatar? Sweet, that's gonna make all of this a lot easier to understand. Be careful out there, Zozo. If you can get strong enough and gain all these powers, you can save us all. But to help with the learning process, you'll need to find a mentor.
Do you know where I can find one?
Nope. Good luck.
From day 6 to day 8, with all the new information that Fungo the Monster Mushroom had given me stewing around in my head, I started making my way back to my base. So, I need to find a mentor. How can I track one down? It's not like they have a directory website, but my frustration and self-pity was interrupted by seeing an innocent swamp pig being picked on by more of those evil fire elementals.
Please, guys, leave me alone. I'm just doing my daily exercise.
Little piggy's trying to exercise. Hilarious. We can help you warm up.
Oh yeah, we'll fry your bacon. These are extremely insensitive jokes, guys. Please leave me alone.
But I knew they'd never leave that poor swamp pig alone. Not unless I made them. That's why I pulled out my stone sword and ran in to fight them off. Leave that innocent pig alone, you meanies! It didn't take me long to defeat them all and rescue the swamp pig from a fiery doom. Needless to say, he was relieved.
Thank you, kind stranger. I'm Sammy the swamp pig. You have done me a great kindness today, and I'll never forget it.
No problem, Sammy. I'm Zozo, by the way. Say, do you have any idea where I might find a mentor? I really need one to help me save the world.
Well, I did hear rumors about a great teacher who lived near water somewhere, but that's all I know. Still, I want to help you, Zozo. I really owe you one.
How about you come back to my base? I could really use some allies right now. I led Sammy the Swamp Pig back into my base and started building a new room in my base for him to stay in. And make sure you keep watching until the end, because the craziest parts are yet to come. From day 9 to day 10, I found a huge underground cavern in the tropical rainforest where I could search for rare materials. The deeper and darker I descended in, the more veins of iron ore I found. I mined and collected the iron ore and then constructed a furnace underground to smelt into iron ingots. Now it's time to make myself some awesome new equipment. I made a set of iron armor, an iron sword, and an iron pickaxe.
And not a second too soon, as I heard something terrifying skittering around in the dark. I turned and saw a giant skulk scorpion crawling towards me, looking like it was ready to attack. And it turned out that it actually was! I tried to attack it with my iron sword, but it didn't seem to have much of an effect on the monster, which was as strong and fast as it was angry. In the end, I needed to use my location warping ability to zap out of there and run deeper into the darkness of the underground cavern. Can't see how this would ever end badly. From day 11 to day 12, all I could do was try to hide deeper in the underground cavern and hope that the skulk scorpion didn't find me down there. How am I gonna save the world from a powerful magma golem if I can't even defeat a nasty underground bug? Deep in the dark, my greatest enemy wasn't the skulk scorpion or even Magnus, the lord of the elementals. It was just pure boredom. So when I found a dusty old book, you can only imagine how relieved I was. I certainly never expected that this book would contain the secret to Magnus's rise to power. It was filled with strange Latin text, but then I opened the book to a section called the 3 Enforcers. It described 3 terrifying and powerful golems who worked for Magnus: the Bone Golem, the Diamond Golem, and the Bedrock Golem. These 3 golems were vital for keeping all the elementals in line, and if I was able to defeat all 3 of the Enforcer golems, Magnus's control over elementals would probably collapse. Now I know what I need to do. If I defeat the 3 Enforcers, defeating Magnus afterwards would be easy. But I was celebrating a little too loudly. Suddenly, a vicious fire salamander, a powerful underworld creature, ran towards me. He was a tough mob to defeat since he shot flames at me. He had something that looked like an organic turret protruding from his back. A truly bizarre and scary mob, but with the knowledge of what I needed to do fueling me, I was able to do it. And this gave me enough XP to level up, becoming a bigger, stronger elemental shark with 18 hearts and the ability to breathe fire. Looks like I've mastered 1 element, 3 to go. Keep watching to see what I evolve into next. From day 13 to day 15, I returned to my base, bigger and stronger than ever before. And when I was back, I saw that Sammy the Swamp Pig had made an awesome addition to the base while I was gone, a whole new floor. Whoa, Sammy, this room looks so cool. What exactly is it?
Look, it's a lounge area, Zozo. You need to stay relaxed if you want to be in harmony with the 4 elements.
An excellent idea, Sammy. Do you have any news on where I might be able to find the mentor I've been searching for too?
I've heard of some strange activity near a pond deep in the tropical rainforest. Maybe that has something to do with it.
On Sammy's advice, I ventured out deeper into the tropical rainforest until I found the pond and what looked like a crimson wizard waiting outside it.
Stay back, Elemental! I will not serve your master!
He fired an energy blast at me that took off a few of my hearts and prepared to fire another. Wait! You don't understand! I'm an elemental, but I don't work for Magnus. I'm trying to defeat him. I'm just looking for a mentor that will help train me to stop him.
Oh, I see. Sorry about firing an energy blast at you there, old chap. You can't be too careful these days with Magnus and his minions around.
It's okay, I understand. So, can you mentor me, Mr. Wizard?
I'm afraid that isn't my area of expertise, but I also wish to stop the diabolical Magnus. You and I can work together to make that a reality.
It never hurts to have magic on your side, I guess. Come on back to my base with me. Let's work together.
Lead the way, Elemental Shark.
I set off back towards my base with 1 more ally in tow. From day 16 to day 19, I returned to my base with the Crimson Wizard. Because Sammy the Swamp Pig figured I might be returning with a mentor, he'd already built a room for the Crimson Wizard. My base is practically becoming a hotel. I should start charging people.
I'd be happy to pay. This room looks wonderful.
Before you get too comfortable, Crimson Wizard, I need some advice. Do you have any idea where I should go next in my quest to master the elements and take on Magnus?
Good question, Zozo. Personally, I would suggest the Mojave Desert. To master all the elements, you must first experience them all.
That sounds like a good idea to me. Time to go. After a couple days of traveling, I'd reached the Mojave Desert and started searching around for any clues as to what I needed to do next. The last thing I expected was to run into a talking desert cat. Hey, little kitty, do you have any idea what I can do to help defeat Magnus, Lord of the Elementals?
No, Magnus? You mean the magma golem? I think some of his henchmen are around here, just a little further west in this very desert. maybe go defeat them, and I'll see whatever information I can provide afterwards.
That's so convenient. Thank you, Desert Cat. From day 20 to day 22, following the cat's instructions, I went further west into the Mojave Desert. It didn't take me long to find a gang of rowdy air elementals who were just itching for a fight.
Hey, look! It's that elemental shark who defied the orders of Lord Magnus.
Yep, that's me, but I'm not here for you small fries. That'd be a waste of my time.
Small fries? Oh, buddy, you are gonna regret saying that.
They flew over to attack me, but I was ready. With my iron sword, I cut them down and defeated each one of them until I was the last one standing. Or so I thought. Turned out, one of Magnus's head enforcers, the Bone Golem, had been sneaking up behind me. I turned just as the Bone Golem hit me, taking off a shocking number of hearts. Immediately, I was fighting for my life, striking him with my iron sword, but it wasn't having any effect. He was so confident, he started throwing his own bones at me. I needed to pull out the big guns and use my elemental powers on this nasty, overgrown skeleton. Fire breath, go! I breathed a powerful jet of flames onto the Bone Golem, finally defeating him. And with that, I was a third of the way to bringing down Magnus and his Empire of Evil. From day 23 to day 26, I went back to tell the Desert Cat about my success. Hey, little kitty, I found those henchmen and I kicked their butts.
Meow, that's great news. Those jerks kept making crazy wind and messing up my fur. Now I can nap in peace without worrying about any air elementals bothering me.
So, what can you tell me about Magnus, and how can I defeat him?
Well, Magnus doesn't like to fight his own fights. He prefers to have his henchmen take care of that for him. So if you can defeat all of his elemental goons, he won't have anyone left to fight for him, and he'll have to face you himself.
I guess I just need to make sure I'm strong enough when the time comes.
Meow, that sounds about right. Oh, before I forget, maybe you can use this.
The cat gave me a potion of power. Thanks, I can definitely use this.
Glad to hear it. Now scram, it's my nap time, and I just found the perfect sunny spot.
You got it. I left the cat and continued walking through the desert until I found a new area. When I got there, I was jumped by some earth elementals.
Say, it's the wise guy who thinks he can defy Lord Magnus. Let's get him, boys.
Not if I get you first. Fire breath, go! I blew a blast of fire at the earth elementals and followed it up with an attack with my iron sword. Pretty soon, all but one of the earth elementals was defeated.
Wait, if you let me go, I can give you some information.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, Lord Magnus's headquarters. It's guarded by earth, air, and water elementals. Is that helpful?
Yeah, get out of here. He ran away, and I took the moment of victory to drink my potion of power. When I did, I gained 24 hearts, evolving into an even bigger version of myself. And I gained the Earth ability. I can shoot an Earth charge that leaves behind a pile of dirt on the ground. Looks like I just mastered Earth. 2 down, 2 to go. From day 27 to day 31, I headed back to my base. On the way there, I passed the pond again. There was a diamond golem there, waiting for me. He attacked me, and I tried to fight back, but he was way too strong. In the end, I had to run away before he dealt me too much damage. That was a close one. I was scared he'd chase after me, but finally I made it back to my base, safe and sound.
Wow, Zozo, look at you. You're so big and strong.
Indeed, your stature is most impressive.
Thanks, guys, but I'm not done yet. I've still got 2 elements left to master, and I need to get way stronger if I'm gonna defeat Magnus.
Still, you must take time to celebrate how far you have already come. Speaking of progress, I have a sense that there is something useful to you waiting at a nearby location, the Rainbow Beach.
Then I'd better get going and see what it is. From day 32 to day 35, I traveled to the Rainbow Beach to see what the wizard might have sensed out there. I sure wish magic would be more specific. Oh well, I guess that's just how magic is. As I was looking around, I spotted an iron golem up ahead. Hey there, do you know anything about Magnus?
Don't you ever say that name to me! How dare you bring him up in my presence!
Oh wait, I didn't mean to offend you. Before I could explain, he attacked me. I drew my sword and fought back, but he was really strong. Turns out though, so was I. After fighting for a while, it became pretty clear that we were evenly matched. Please, let's stop this and just talk.
You're lucky I'm getting tired. Fine, talk.
I get the feeling you don't like Magnus much.
Don't like him? That's an understatement. We used to be best friends a long time ago. One day, though, he started getting obsessed with the elements. He wanted to control them, all of them. And when I tried to argue with him, elementals think they're so great. Huh. See how great they think they are when I find a way to control every element. What's wrong with you having one specialty? All I do is iron, but you don't see me complaining. That's because you're a loser, and I don't need to spend my time with losers. If you're not with me, you're against me. He knocked me out and left. I never saw him again. Pretty soon, I started hearing about what he was getting up to, and I realized that the friend I used to know was gone. His jealousy and hunger for power turned him into a villain.
That's terrible. I'm so sorry. I'm trying to master all the elements too, but it's so I can beat him and stop him from hurting people.
If that's true, then that is a noble goal. I wish you luck, Mr. Shark.
Thanks. The name's Zozo. From day 36 to day 39, I traveled back to the tropical rainforest. I really need to upgrade my armor. Let's see what I can find here.
If armor upgrades you do seek, then it is to me that you should speak.
Who's there? And why are you rhyming? A monster mushroom jumped out from behind a tree.
Sorry, when I get nervous, I talk in rhymes. I know where you can get some upgrades. Lord Magnus's base is empty right now, and there are plenty of supplies to be found in there. It's not like he deserves them. You might as well take them.
Sounds good to me, but where's his base?
In the swamp surrounded by lava. Do me a favor though, if you see a big mean fire elemental running with a gang of other fiery jerks, would you defeat him for me? He tried to hurt me, and I'd rather he not get a chance to try again.
You got it! Thanks for the help! Following the monster mushroom's directions, I managed to make my way to the swamps and Magnus's base. From day 40 to day 43, I fought my way into Magnus's base. There was only a few wither skeleton guards, and it was easy to beat them. Then, I ran inside. Jeez, this place really suits the guy. It looks as mean as he is. I didn't have much time to look around because the diamond golem from earlier was inside. Uh-oh, this guy again. I've got to do a better job this time. I started with my fire breath, then followed it up with a sword attack. It was pretty tough, and I wasn't sure if I would be able to do it. But finally, I was able to defeat him. When the diamond golem fell, he dropped a whole bunch of diamonds. This is just what I need. Now I can go back to the base and upgrade my gear. I grabbed all the diamonds. Now I've got to get out of here before Magnus gets back. I may be a lot stronger than I used to be, but I'm still not ready to face him. Maybe with some upgraded armor and weapons though, I'll be closer to my goal. From day 44 to day 49, I traveled back to my base and got to work on upgrading my armor and weapons. Using all of the diamonds I got from that diamond golem, I was able to craft a diamond pickaxe, a diamond sword, and some diamond armor. Awesome, look at all this stuff. I feel more powerful already. Okay, back to exploring. I need to see what else I can do to improve and work toward mastering those last two elements. I headed out into the rainforest and started exploring. As I did, I came across a group of fire elementals. They didn't see me at first, but I could hear them.
You guys remember that loser mushroom that got away from us before? I think I know where we can find him and finish the job.
Nice! He was so pathetic! Let's go get him!
That's the fire elemental he was talking about. If I fight and defeat these guys, he won't have to worry about them anymore.
Wait, there's some shocky freak listening to us. That's the guy the boss told us about.
Yep, and I'm here to kick your butts. Using my new diamond sword, I was able to defeat those fire elementals in no time. This new gear sure is great. I can't wait to see the look on Magnus's face when he realizes I'm finally strong enough to take him down. But I can't get ahead of myself. I gotta focus on mastering water and air. Time to get moving. From day 50 to day 53, I traveled into the Red Rock Highlands to seek out new ways to master the elements. I feel like the Highlands can teach me air stuff, right? That seems right. Or maybe water. Is there water here? As I explored, I came across an open book lying on the ground. Inside it said, "I'm gentle enough to wash your hair, light enough to fly through the sky, strong enough to crack rocks, What am I? That doesn't make any sense. How can one thing wash hair, fly in the air, and break rocks? I don't get it. It took me a little while to think about it, but suddenly it came to me. Wait a second, it's water!
That's right, Zozo.
An earth elemental jumped out at me.
Guess you're smarter than you look. Too bad you'll never get a chance to master water because Lord Magnus sent me to take you out.
Out to dinner?
No, out of this world.
Oh no! I got my diamond sword ready and started swinging. I followed it up with some fire breath and the earth elemental crumbled. After the fight, I could feel myself getting bigger and stronger. I'm evolving again! As I got stronger, I gained more hearts. Now I have 35 of them. I also gained the Ice Blast ability. I can freeze enemies in place with this. I guess I finally mastered water. Only one more to go! From day 54 to day 57, I returned to my base. The Crimson Wizard had a surprise for me. He built some protective walls around the base while I was gone.
As a token of appreciation for letting me stay at your home rent-free, I thought I might work on our defenses a little bit.
These walls look really nice. I feel safer already. Thanks!
No problem.
Now I'm feeling pretty good, but I know I need to get stronger and master the fourth and final element. I need some help. I wonder if there's anyone who can mentor me. I looked around the base for ideas, but as awesome as my new friends were, none of them would be able to teach me about fighting. Wait a second, that iron golem I met before was really tough and cool. I should go ask him if he can help me. I returned to the place where I met the iron golem and sure enough, he was there. Hey, it's me, Zozo. Remember me?
I do. How is your quest to master the elements and defeat Magnus going?
I've got 3 out of 4 down, but I still need to get stronger. Would you train me?
Train you to take down Magnus? It would be an honor. Let's get to work, Zozo.
From day 58 to day 62, I started my training with the Iron Golem. He set up a wall of blocks for me.
You see these blocks? Break them without touching them.
I'll try my best. I used my fire breath to break the blocks.
Now try to dodge my attacks.
He ran at me and attacked, and I dodged. He had me do a bunch of different challenges and training exercises. I had to run up and down the beach, go out into the water and swim back, and test out all my new powers. By the time I was done, I was exhausted, but I also gained more strength. Sweet! This will help my sword hit even harder. But I haven't mastered air yet.
Not yet, but you've made some great progress. I'm proud of you.
Thanks for all your help. You've been a great mentor. From day 63 to day 66, I went back to my base. When I got there, I saw a group of water elementals running away from the base. What the? Oh no! They had destroyed my base and destroyed some of the walls.
Zozo, help! These miscreants kidnapped the swamp pig.
No! I was able to catch up with one of the water elementals and I hit him with my pile of dirt. Tell me where they took my friend or I'll hit you again.
Zoinks! Don't do that! They took the pig to Lord Magnus's base. There's a prison cell attached to it. They're gonna throw him in there.
And I've got to get over there too. No time to waste. I need to save my friend. I'd let the water elemental go and set off toward the Wailing Garth to rescue the swamp pig. From day 67 to day 70, I traveled to Magnus's base on a swamp pig rescue mission. When I reached the swamps, I saw a big cage in the base. And there was the swamp pig, trapped inside. Don't worry, I'll get you out of there.
Yeah, right. You'll have to go through us first.
The water elementals closed in around me, but I had a plan. Maybe I should give you guys the cold shoulder. I fired my Ice Blast ability at the water elementals, freezing them in place. Then I used my diamond sword to take them out, one by one. The last water elemental dropped a key to the cage. Now let's get you free. I used the key to unlock the cage and let the swamp pig out.
Thank you, Zozo. I knew you'd save me.
What are friends for? Now let's get out of here before Magnus comes back. We ran back to the base together, and much to my surprise, when we got back, all the damage was fixed. Wow, who did this?
I did. I also added some guard towers so we can see threats coming if any more of Magnus's henchmen decide to attack us again.
Awesome, thank you so much. From day 71 to day 74, I wasn't sure what to do next. Can I learn about how to master air? I just don't know. Wait a second, there was that Skulk Scorpion I couldn't fight before. I bet I could beat him now. Maybe then I'll figure out what to do next. With my new plan to fight the Skulk Scorpion, I headed down into the underground cavern. Hello, Mr. Scorpion, are you down here still? Sure enough, there it was! The scorpion ran at me and tried to sting me with its stinger, but I fought back with a fire breath and my sword. Then I used my ice blast to freeze it and follow up with the sword to finish it off. I did it! I did it! Hey, look at this! There was a book on the ground. The Book of Exposition. What's it say? The answers you seek lie deeper in the cavern, but there you must face the bedrock golem. Well, who am I to argue with a random book? Let's go! From day 75 to day 78, I followed the instructions from the Book of Exposition and headed deeper into the underground cavern. There, I saw a group of earth elementals and a big bedrock golem behind them. Before I could say anything or attack, the earth elementals spotted me.
I've had enough of this clown. Why don't you just give up already?
Because what Magnus is doing is wrong, and I can't just stand by and let him get away with it.
Okay, then don't stand by. Just stand. Die.
The earth elementals rushed at me, but I was ready for them. I fought them with my diamond sword. Once they were all gone, I turned my attention to the bedrock golem. Now it's your turn. He was much tougher than the earth elementals. In fact, he was tougher than anyone else I had fought so far. I had to use all of my special abilities to knock him down and out of his misery. That was a relief, and good, because I felt myself evolving again. My hearts increased to 80, and I gained the ability Whirlwind Attack. I did it! I mastered air! I've got to tell everyone! From day 79 to day 84, I ran back to the base to deliver the good news. Hey, look! Look! I showed my friends my new evolved form and tested out my Whirlwind Attack for them.
Wow, Zozo, you're amazing!
Most impressive.
So now what should I do?
Excellent question, my friend. I believe the answers await us at the Red Rock Highlands. Shall we go there now?
Yes, let's go! From day 85 to day 89, the Crimson Wizard and I traveled to the Red Rock Highlands. Okay, we're here. Now what?
Let me see. I had hoped the Highlands would reveal the truth to me when we arrived, but it remains unclear. Perhaps we should see if we can acquire any additional items that might allow you to upgrade your gear?
Sure, why not? Together, we searched the area for cool items. I found some more diamonds and gathered them up. From day 90 to day 94, I was gathering diamonds while the Crimson Wizard headed back to the base. All of a sudden, Magnus appeared behind me.
Still haven't given up yet, I see.
Nope, and I never will. I finally mastered all the elements, and I'm coming for ya.
Oh yeah? How are you going to do that from underground?
What? What are you talking about?
The one element you haven't mastered. The element of surprise.
Magnus hit me hard, knocking my diamonds out of my hands. Then he got me again, knocking me out cold. When I woke up, I was in an underground chamber. Oh no, I'm trapped in here. What should I do? Wait a second, Magnus didn't count on me still having this iron pickaxe. I'll use it to tunnel out of here. I wasn't sure how long I'd been out, so I had to work fast and make up for lost time. I dug faster than I'd ever dug before until I broke through to the surface. Nice try, Magnus, but you can't get rid of me that easily. From day 95 to day 97, I started making my way back to my base. On the way, I was ambushed by a group of earth elementals.
See? I told the boss burying him wouldn't work. Weeds always grow back.
I'm not a weed, I'm an elemental shark, and I'm stronger than you, and I'll prove it. I fought back, and with my mastery of all 4 elements, it didn't take long for me to beat them. I finished my fight with the Whirlwind Attack and blew them away. Awesome! Okay, no time to celebrate yet. I've got to get back to the base. On day 98, I finally made my way back to my base.
Zozo, where have you been?
We were worried about you.
Magnus surprised me and trapped me in an underground chamber. I had to dig myself out.
Monstrous.
That's awful.
It's okay, I'm totally fine. I made it back, and we still have time for me to use my mastery of the elements to defeat Magnus and restore peace. It's gonna be great.
You're right, Zozo. Gee, this sure has been a wild adventure.
And to see more adventures like it, make sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and search ZOZO.
Zozo, allow me to accompany you to Magnus's lair. There, you can finally end this nightmare for good.
On day 99, the Crimson Wizard walked with me all the way to the swamps and Magnus's base. He couldn't come with me, but I didn't want him to. It was important for me to face Magnus on my own. There, outside the base, were earth elementals, air elementals, and water elementals guarding it. I was pretty nervous at first because there were loads of them and they all attacked me. But I knew I could do it. I fought my way through the elemental guards, freezing them with my ice blast, burning them with my fire breath, and blowing them away with my whirlwind attack. It took a while to get through all of them, but in the end, I managed. Phew, all that fighting made me hungry. Magnus must be anticipating me because he really did gather all the remaining elementals to guard his base. Now, let me find him. On day 100, I headed into Magnus's base to finally complete my quest. He was sitting on a throne, waiting for me. I escaped your trap.
So I see. I had a feeling you might. It doesn't matter. You're going to lose.
I don't think I am. See, there's something you don't get about the elements. They require balance. They're equal. None of them are better than the others. Elements don't have lords. They're all equal and work together.
Foolish words from a foolish shark. No more talking. Let's fight.
He didn't have to tell me twice. He didn't even have to tell me once. I was already getting my sword ready. I used my dirt ability to hopefully trap him, but he dodged it. He came back at me with an attack, but I dodged it and attacked again. All of a sudden, Magnus started shaking and growing. He evolved into a bigger, stronger version of himself right before my eyes. Uh-oh, I've got to step up my game. Ice time! I used my ice ability to freeze Magnus so he wouldn't have a chance to hit me with his new evolved strength. This gave me just enough time to use all the other elements back to back. Earth, fire, air! With all my powers combined, I finally defeated Magnus! It's over! Now we can all coexist in peace again! On day 1, I spawned into the middle of the Black Forest as HEROBRINE, Minecraft's spookiest phantom. Well, a baby version of HEROBRINE anyway. But why am I here? I was on some kind of altar with a sinister robed figure standing and staring at me.
Yes, my plan worked. This is the growing sign that my powers are growing.
Plan? Powers? Who are you? And what's going on here?
You don't know the name of your master, boy. I am Dorian, the drowned necromancer, master of the undead. And you are my servant.
Servant? I didn't sign up for that. I don't even want to be a ghost. I want to have a body.
What you want doesn't matter. Without me, you wouldn't exist. And unless I choose to give you a body in the next 100 days, your spirit will fade away into nothingness. Bow to me, boy.
Never! And my name is Zozo. With all my might, I jumped out of the altar and ran off into the forest as fast as I could. I didn't want anything to do with Dorian, the drowned necromancer, and his plan to get more power. I need to work on my plan, getting my body back. When I was convinced that I'd lost Dorian, I hid under a tree for the rest of the day. As a restless spirit, I couldn't even get any rest. Being HEROBRINE sure isn't easy. On day 2, I decided to further explore the Black Forest. It was dark and spooky, the exact kind of place that a scary spirit like me would be summoned. If I wasn't a ghost myself, I'd be afraid of running into a ghost around here. And, oh geez, I only have 5 hearts. I thought ghosts were meant to be more durable than this. But I didn't have time to wallow in self-pity for long because a gang of frightening dreadliches emerged out of the trees. Why is everyone around here so eerie?
We serve our glorious master, Dorian, the drowned necromancer. He gave us new life, so we owe everything to him.
Oh, that's just my luck. And I guess you want to kidnap me and take me back to him for his sinister plans.
Huh. We didn't expect you to already know this. I guess it saves us some explanation time at least. In the name of Dorian, we commandeer your soul!
The dreadliches punched me. With no weapons and very low health, I didn't have any hope of fighting back against them. Instead, I turned around and ran as quickly as I could. My soul, my rules! The Black Forest seemed dark and infinite, so at least it wasn't difficult to lose those nasty liches. The downside was that I'd gotten lost myself, and as I wandered through the forest, getting more and more creeped out, I ran into a siren!
Oh, another ghost! How exciting!
Wait, you can see me?
Of course I can see you. I'm a psychic. Sarah the Psychic Siren, General Services. Pleased to meet you.
So, you're not going to try to steal my soul like everyone else I've met?
Steal your soul? Heck no. I'm a huge supporter of spirits' rights. Come with me, my new ghost friend. I'll introduce you to my boss.
Finally, having met someone nice, I followed Sarah the psychic siren through the trees. On day 3, Sarah led me through the forest until we came upon a small cottage. A sign outside read, "Psychic services for all ghosts." Wow, I had no idea this kind of place existed, Sarah.
There are more ghosts in this forest than you think. It's got to be someone's job to take care of them and help them along their way.
Suddenly, the front door opened and a geomancer stepped out.
Zozo, meet my boss, Jerry the Geomancer. Jerry, I found Zozo here wandering through the Black Forest like a restless spirit. He needs our help.
Is that a fact? It's nice to meet you, Zozo. Tell me, how did you find yourself in this difficult situation?
To be honest, I'm not entirely sure. I was summoned and bound by this guy called Dorian, the drowned necromancer, and he told me that if I didn't serve him, I'd disappear in 100 days. It's got me pretty worried.
That's concerning. I've heard of many cases caused by this Dorian fellow, a truly dangerous customer. I'm gonna put Sarah on your case. She'll come and help you build a base and get situated. And together, we'll get your body back.
Thank you, Jerry and Sarah. I'm feeling better already.
Let's go, Zozo.
With the mission to get my body back decided on, Sarah and I journeyed further into the forest to get started. From day 4 to day 5, Sarah and I explored the Black Forest until we discovered an area with a nice, flat terrain. So, Sarah, what do you think we should do first?
I'd say cut down a few of these trees. That'll give you some of the wood you need to build a crafting table and a wooden pickaxe.
Great idea, Sarah! I cut down a tree and made a crafting table and a wooden pickaxe. From there, I mined enough stone to also create a stone pickaxe, axe, and a stone sword. It's difficult to hold this stuff, being a ghost, but I'll try my best.
That's the spirit, Zozo.
I cleared enough space in the forest to start laying down a basic base, collecting some extra wood along the way. It started off with a pretty basic setup, with just a room for me and a room for Sarah.
Oh, this is a nice setup, Zozo. I guess living with you technically means we're living in a haunted house.
Yeah, I guess so. Say, this is probably a pointless question to ask, but is it possible for ghosts to eat? Because I'm getting really hungry right now.
You're in luck, Zozo. I have an enchanted apple that ghosts can eat in my inventory right now. Enjoy!
Sarah gave me the apple, and I ate it. Instantly, I felt my power starting to grow. I had 20 hearts now, and I developed a new ghost ability, warping from place to place.
This is fascinating, Zozo. I feel so lucky that I'm getting to see it.
From day 6 to day 8, I went wandering around the nearby Twilight Valley, looking for more rare enchanted food. As a ghost, my ghostly hunger was really difficult to satisfy, and Sarah didn't know how to enchant more food. It kinda sucks to be a ghost. I still have a lot of the downsides of being human, plus a bunch of new downsides. But while I was wandering around the valley, I heard some commotion and ran in to see what was happening. Maybe I can help someone. In the distance, I saw a Vindicator Chef, one of the most powerful types of chefs in the world, being attacked by a nasty gang of skeleton vanguards. A chef, huh? What a stroke of good luck. I used my new ghost power to warp over there and pulled out my stone sword. With all my focus and determination, I fought all of the skeleton vanguards until none remained. It was only me and the Vindicator Chef.
You saved my life, sir. I owe you a great debt. What is your name?
I'm Zozo.
Zozo, a strong name for a strong hero. I am Victor, Victor the Vindicator Chef. And if you do a favor for me, I will repay your kindness by any means necessary.
That sounds like a good deal. What kind of favor would you like me to do?
Follow me, and I'll show you.
I followed Victor the Vindicator Chef deeper into the Twilight Valley, excited to get him on my side. From day 9 to day 10, Victor took me to a clearing in the valley where a huge mutant skeleton was waiting. Oh geez, that thing is a monster. You want me to defeat a mutant skeleton?
I believe in you, Zozo. Seeing you take down all those skeleton vanguards makes me completely confident in your ability to slay this beast. Go forth!
Thanks for the vote of confidence, Victor. I steeled myself as best as I could and warped over to the mutant skeleton. It immediately started attacking me, and I started attacking it back. But my attacks were barely doing anything, and its attacks were taking way too many hearts off of me. I gotta get out of here.
I warped away from the fight and ran back to Victor, telling him the disappointing news.
Oh, well, I'm sure you tried your best nonetheless. I suppose we'll go our separate ways.
No, hear me out. I could really use a Vindicator chef back at my base. You're the only type of chef who can cook the type of enchanted food I can eat. How about you stay at my base, and I promise I'll come back and defeat this mutant skeleton when I'm strong enough.
That sounds like a good deal to me. Lead the way, dear Zozo.
From day 11 to day 12, I returned to the base with Victor the Vindicator chef. I know it isn't much, but it's home. I'm going to make you a room.
Thank you, Zozo. I'll get working on a little something of my own in the meantime.
I got to work, gathering up new materials, and started building a new little bungalow for the Vindicator chef to stay in while crashing at my base. What do you think, Victor?
This is a nice little room, Zozo. Thank you. And you can come and see what I made for you too. Go and check your room.
I walked over and saw that Victor had made a high-end kitchen in my base. Perfect for cooking up the kind of enchanted food I could eat. This is amazing, Victor. I'm getting hungry just looking at it.
But the kitchen is only one side of the equation, Zozo. I need some good quality ingredients. Perhaps we should build a farm on the base.
That's another excellent idea. I decided to build a little enclosure and went out into the Black Forest where I found a bunch of chickens. It wasn't hard to herd them back to my base. I can taste the eggs and fried chicken already. When I returned to my room to relax, I found that Sarah the Psychic Siren was waiting for me with some new information.
I did some research into Dorian the Drowned Necromancer, Zozo, and found some interesting information. He used to be a flesh and blood necromancer, terrorizing the overworld by raising the undead, until one day the people rose up and drowned him in the ocean. Somehow, Dorian returned, and he's been acting on his evil plans ever since.
Wow, this guy is really scary. From day 13 to day 15, I returned to Sarah once again and asked her what she thought I should do in order to get my body back.
Right now, Zozo, knowledge is power. The more we can find out, the more likely we'll be able to help you get your body back. Head out to the Twilight Valley and see what you can find out.
That's an excellent idea, Sarah. I journeyed out into the Twilight Valley, which reminded me of the time that I'd failed to defeat the mutant skeleton. Why is nothing ever easy around here? But my difficulties were only just getting started. One of the Dreadliches who worked for Dorian the Drowned Necromancer came from behind me, ready to fight me.
I serve my glorious master, Dorian the
Drowned Necromancer. Yeah, I get it. Let's just fight.
Fine, but way to take all the fun out of this.
I battled the Dreadlich with all my might. He was a formidable opponent, but in the end, I defeated him all the same. And that gave me the XP I needed to level up again. I got bigger, stronger, rose up to 40 hearts, and gained a new offensive power, Lightning Strikes. Finally, some actually cool ghost powers. From day 16 to day 19, I found my way into the wooded Badlands, where I continued my search for any useful information that could help me defeat Dorian the Drowned Necromancer and get my body back. During the first couple days of my search through the Badlands, I didn't find anything, but on day 19, I happened upon a dusty, old book hidden out of the way. Yay, reading! I love that! But it wasn't just a fun reading experience that would engage my imagination, it was also a book that contained some critical information about Dorian the Drowned Necromancer. It read, like all cardinal undead, the Drowned Necromancer has a beard of ice. Therefore, he must spend most of his time in the freezing cold, and he has a severe weakness to fire. So that's two useful pieces of information. Dorian has a weakness to fire, and he must be hiding somewhere cold. I can't wait to tell Sarah about this. But my celebration was short-lived, as suddenly a couple of Dreadliches ambushed me, trying to get revenge for their friend I defeated back in the Twilight Valley. Thankfully this time, I had the power of ghostly lightning in my hands. I fired some lightning bolts at the Dreadliches until they were destroyed. I'm getting my body back no matter what. From day 20 to day 22, I continued through the wooded Badlands, feeling strong and confident about all the information I'd found recently. I ran into a nasty gang of hungry spiders and used my new lightning ability to zap them. These spiders are hardly a threat to me now. I decided that now was the perfect time to upgrade my gear, too. I searched until I found an underground cavern and looked around until I found some iron ore. I mined the ore and smelted it into some ingots, creating an iron sword and an iron pickaxe. Now I'm stronger than ever. Come to think of it, I have some unfinished business to take care of now. Remembering the debt I owed to Victor the Vindicator Chef, I returned to the Twilight Valley and hunted down that scary mutant skeleton I'd agreed to defeat. When I saw the mutant skeleton, I first unleashed a lightning strike, stunning it. Then I ran in and struck it again and again with my new iron sword until it was no more. A HEROBRINE always pays his debts. From day 23 to day 26, I returned to the base to let Victor the Vindicator Chef know that I had paid my debt to him by defeating the mutant skeleton.
I can see that you've gotten strong, just like you promised you would.
That's right, and I plan on becoming even stronger, Victor. They'll start calling me Victor too, because I won so many battles.
But that's my name, Zozo. Won't that get confusing?
True. I guess I'll just stick with Zozo. After my talk with Victor, I went to the underground cavern where I could mine for more iron. With my iron pickaxe, I was able to mine the iron ore in no time. In the same area, I found a treasure chest with a bunch of iron ingots that I could use to craft a full set of iron armor. I'm like a ghostly knight. I went back above and went to see Victor the Vindicator Chef again. He said he had some news to share with me.
Zozo, I've made an addition to the base that I think you might really enjoy.
He showed me a relaxation room that was perfect for ghosts like me. You did a really good job on this, Victor. We ghosts might not be able to rest in peace, but at least now we can relax about it.
It was no trouble at all, friend.
From day 27 to day 31, I was out exploring the same area of the wooded Badlands where I defeated the Dreadliches. I came across a farmer who was jumping for joy at the sight of me. That's not the usual reaction people have for HEROBRINE, so I went over to ask why he was in such a good mood. What's got you so happy, Mr. Farmer?
It's because of you, Zozo. Those Dreadliches were a real snake in my boot. But ever since you defeated them, I've had no worries.
Glad to hear it. Slaying evil monsters and improving lives is totally my thing.
Well, there is one small worry. When those Dreadliches were still around, one of them scared off all my sheep. I needed them for wool.
I'll help you out. You can even come live at my base if you'd like.
That sounds pretty keen, Zozo.
I led the farmer back to the base, then set off through the Black Forest to find some sheep so I could gather the wool that the farmer was looking for. Taming them was easy enough, and soon there was enough wool to go around. Afterwards, I decided to do some decorating. These HEROBRINE banners will show the mobs that this base is home to one mighty ghost. With the decorations done, I found Sarah the Psychic Siren waiting inside.
There you are, Zozo. You have to leave the base with me now. It's an emergency.
What's going on?
Come on, I'll explain when we get there.
From day 32 to day 35, I left the base with Sarah and traveled through the Black Forest. Along the way, we were ambushed by a small gang of Dreadliches. Boy, does this feel familiar.
I should have seen this coming. I am a psychic after all.
We serve our glorious master, Dorian the Drowned Necromancer.
They really do say it every time, don't they, Sarah?
They sure do.
Hey, don't diss our catchphrase, or we'll have to get mean. Well, meaner.
The Dreadliches began to attack, so I zapped them with my ghost lightning strikes. None of the Dreadliches I had fought before had seen that ability, so it took them by surprise, and I was able to quickly defeat them. We traveled on, and I soon noticed that Sarah and I had come to the place where Jerry the Geomancer had resided before. This time, it was completely destroyed, and the area was full of Dorian's Dreadliches. Hey, this is Jerry's place. Get out of here!
It looks like we were too late, Zozo. This is exactly what I foresaw in my psychic vision.
I knew what Sarah meant when I saw Jerry backed against a corner. He had tried to fight the Dreadliches on his own, but he was about to die.
Zozo, is that you? It seems I won't be able to see you get your body back.
Jerry, I'm sorry. We got here as fast as we could.
Don't worry about me. Dorian will surely pay for this. Make sure you and Sarah protect each other.
We will. Rest well, Jerry. I was so enraged by Jerry's death that I destroyed the Dreadliches with my lightning strikes until there were none left in the area. From day 36 to day 39, I made a return trip back to the Twilight Valley. It hadn't changed much since the other time I was here, but there was a fisherman at the local pond who I hadn't seen before. Hello there, I'm Zozo.
Well, hi there, Zozo. I'm fishing. Oh, I'm just kidding. My name is Fred the Fisherman, and I could use a hand.
Sure, Fred. What seems to be the problem?
I know I'd be able to catch more fish if I had some twilight worms as bait, but they're all way up there in the higher parts of the valley. Can you go get a couple for me?
You can count on me, Fred. I climbed up the terrain of the Twilight Valley, enjoying the view along the way. With all that happened recently, it was nice to gather my thoughts for a moment. The moment didn't last long though, because I was attacked by a giant. Even though it was big, it had gotten the drop on me. I took a few swings with my iron sword to make it think twice, then I warped back a short distance and hit it with a few lightning strikes. I closed the distance back into melee range and finished it off with my sword. Soon after, I returned to Fred the fisherman with the bait he was looking for. Happy fishing, hope you catch a big one.
Thanks. I only came here to the valley because the fishing in the ocean ain't that good anymore. Ever since that drowned necromancer rose from the sea, people have been afraid that he might have left a curse on it.
He is really evil, that Dorian. A curse on the place he was drowned. Sure sounds like him. From day 40 to day 43, I was looking at the base after coming home from my short journey and noticed that it had been redecorated to look even spookier, which for ghosts and spirits is incredibly cool. This place looks amazing.
I predicted that you would like the changes, Zozo.
Sarah, was this you? I do like it, but what was the occasion?
I wanted to invite some of my siren sisters to come live at the base. The new look is so they'll feel right at home. Is that all right with you?
Of course! If the other sirens are anything like you, then we'll all get along nicely. A while later, the other sirens that Sarah had mentioned arrived at the base. It was right at the time she had predicted that they would arrive. Hello everyone! Make yourself at home. Friends of Sarah are friends of mine.
Thanks for being so understanding, Zozo. Living at this base together always works out when we compromise.
Sure, the more the merrier. Soon after I greeted the sirens, the farmer who was also living at the base approached me so that we could talk.
Well, hey there, Zozo. You're just the ghost I was looking to see. I have another job for you, if you're willing.
Of course, I'm always willing to help a farmer in need.
I heard from some other farmers that there is a mutant Enderman running around and ruining everyone's crops. If you could take care of that mob, you'd be helping farmers everywhere.
You can count on me. From day 44 to day 49, I took up the farmer on his request and traveled to the Taiga Mountain. That mutant Enderman who was causing problems had to be around here somewhere. But it wasn't just mobs I had to worry about. Dorian was here on the mountain too, alongside a mutant zombie.
Well, 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 if it isn't the HEROBRINE who defied me. How has the spirit been faring? You're probably close to fading away into nothingness by now.
You wish, Dorian. My ghost form has only gotten more powerful, and I will use everything I have to get my body back.
Easier said than done, Zozo. You really think getting your body back will be so simple? I was counting on your ghost to become a vengeful spirit.
Wait, what do you mean?
Do you think the restless dead can return so easily to the way they used to be? Why do you think I still carry the curse of undeath after the villagers drowned me? It's because there is no way back to life for us evil spirits.
It can't be. Have I been getting stronger for nothing?
Yes, embrace your rage and frustration. Become the monster HEROBRINE and forget about reclaiming your body. My undead will help you become what you are meant to be!
Dorian the drowned necromancer disappeared into a fog, leaving behind the mutant zombie to battle me! From day 50 to day 53, I started my battle against the mutant zombie that had been sent against me. My lightning strikes were proving effective, but because of what Dorian the drowned necromancer had said, I was starting to get worried about using my ghost powers. I switched to my sword and hacked away at the mutant zombie. I didn't use my warp or my lightning strike. It made the fight a lot harder, but I had to believe that I was more than just the monster HEROBRINE. I am going to get my body back, no matter what! The mutant zombie was defeated after a big struggle, and it dropped a spellbook once it was defeated. I took a moment to examine it, and I saw a flashback to Dorian's revival. He had just emerged from the ocean as a drowned necromancer and was looking to get revenge on the people of the world for what they did to him, casting down lightning strikes in his wrath. He researched the legends of other powerful undead beings, and he eventually came across the story of HEROBRINE. It looked like he didn't just steal my body to make me into a ghost. He wanted to make me just like the dangerous and evil HEROBRINE from the stories. Maybe then, he'd finally have someone else as tortured and wicked as himself to hang out with. From day 54 to day 57, I resumed the farmer's quest to stop the mutant Enderman in the Taiga Mountain. I found the mob in the process of a rampage, and with some nervousness, I approached. Can I actually defeat this mutant Enderman without my ghost powers? The mutant Enderman sprinted at me and swiped at me with its powerful limbs. My hearts were getting low, and I was still weakened from the fight with the mutant zombie.
Is that all the great Herobrine can do against me? I thought you were more powerful. That's what the story said.
Believe everything you hear. I may not be the same Herobrine that is feared by everyone, but I am Herobrine myself. When I said it out loud, it made sense. I could use my ghost powers because I was the one in control of them, and I was using them to help. Take this!
Ow! Lightning strikes hurt! I thought I could be the scariest, but now I'm done for!
My ghost powers made short work of the mutant Enderman. He dropped an item upon his defeat, which turned out to be an antler headdress. With this headgear equipped, all of my attacks would gain greater knockback. What a neat upgrade! I returned to the farmer at the base and told him that I had defeated the mutant Enderman.
It seems that I can always count on you, Zozo. As a reward for getting rid of that mutant Enderman, I'll tell you a secret about Dorian, the drowned necromancer.
What do you know about him?
I was there when the villagers drowned him in the ocean. His last words were a curse to everyone. He said, "Soon you'll all feel the loneliness that I have felt."
What did he mean?
I don't know, but he probably had something real evil in mind when he said it.
From day 58 to day 62, I managed to herd some more chickens into the base just to make sure we had a big enough food source for everyone. Then, I made my way deep into the underground cavern so I could do some mining for better materials. I used my iron pickaxe to dig until I struck diamonds and mined myself enough to create a diamond pickaxe. I equipped the new tool and kept mining diamonds until I had enough to craft a diamond sword, leggings, a chest plate, and boots. This new weapon and armor would serve me well in battle against the undead forces of Dorian, the drowned necromancer. With my first pieces of diamond armor and gear in tow, I returned to the base, and there were now floating lanterns of ghost lights around the base. I even found that a new room had been added. Sarah had been hard at work, making our haunted house into a haunted home.
This is just my way of saying thanks, Zozo. You've really been a friend to everyone after we lost Jerry the Geomancer. I feel like I could stay here for a very long time.
Thanks, Sarah. That means a lot too, because for ghosts like us, a really long time might mean eternity. From day 63 to day 66, I was down in the underground cavern making some expansions to the mine when Victor the Vindicator Chef came to see me.
Hey Zozo, I heard that you were still looking for your original body. There's a biome nearby where you may not have looked yet.
Oh really? Well, I'm glad you thought to tell me about it, Victor. I went back above ground and traveled to the place that Victor had told me about, the Wooded Badlands. I looked around for any signs of necromancy magic or a gravestone, anything that might lead me to my body. That's when I noticed a scary Gorgon sneaking up on me.
Boo!
Hey, don't say boo to me. I'm a ghost. That's our thing.
Sorry. I thought it would be fun to startle you. I didn't mean any offense.
It seemed like she meant it. That was a relief, because I thought I would have to fight this Gorgon. You're a lot nicer than you look.
I could say the same thing about you. You're the Herobrine, aren't you?
Sorta. I'm the new Herobrine. My name is Zozo.
Zozo, huh? I'm Morgan. You could still help me with a Herobrine quest, right?
I think so. What did you have in mind?
Oh, you agreed! This way, a new ghost friend.
From day 67 to day 70, I followed Morgan the Gorgon through the Wooded Badlands to find out more about this Herobrine quest she had mentioned.
So, aren't you curious about this Herobrine quest of ours?
Yes, actually. I was waiting for you to tell me more.
Well, according to the scary stories about Herobrine, he is supposed to be the most powerful undead because of his ability to rebuild and destroy.
Rebuild and destroy?
Yes, Herobrine can destroy and rebuild the world however he wants, and anyone who is able to control him would be able to gain the same power.
I don't have that kind of power.
Not yet. That's why we're on this quest. You need to regain your power by facing down another being that Herobrine fought. That's why we're headed to the lair of the Dread Beast.
We soon arrived at a part of the Wooded Badlands where the dangerous mob, known as the Dread Beast, was known to have her lair. Come on out, Dread Beast. I am Zozo the Herobrine, and I challenge you. The Dread Beast soon emerged and roared with anger.
You think you're HEROBRINE? Please, I battled the real HEROBRINE in the past. You'll never be as powerful a ghost as him.
We'll see! The Dread Beast charged in, but I knocked her back with a couple slices from my diamond sword, combined with the increased knockback from the antler headdress. She tried to resist and charge at me, but I warped out of the way and brought down lightning strikes until she was defeated! From day 71 to day 74, I thanked Morgan the Gorgon for helping me learn more about the HEROBRINE from the stories and left her to travel further across the wooded Badlands in search of my body. I was starting to get the hang of this new spooky HEROBRINE story, and I was also starting to think it was going to end up being a pretty good one. But it's not the only story that you can find on this channel, so you should look for my other videos by typing ZO into the search bar. I arrived at a rundown structure in the middle of the wooded Badlands. I thought it maybe had something to do with how my old body might have lived. Yeah, I can feel it. I was definitely here before I was a ghost.
But that's what you are now, so why try to go back?
Dorian, it's you.
Still chasing after the past, Zozo? You will become my HEROBRINE, and I will use your powers to rebuild a world where everyone is as lonely as I've been.
That's a terrible thing to do, and I won't let you get away with it. I tried to lightning strike him, but he was immune to the damage. When I swung my diamond sword, he struck back with his own weapon, doing far more damage than I could do to him.
Fool, you actually thought I wasn't prepared to fight you. You'll get a bit stronger, but your ghost form will still fade away. Before then, I do hope you help me achieve my lonely world. What else do you have to continue on for?
Dorian, the drowned necromancer, spared my ghostly life, probably because I was still important to his plans. One thing's for sure, I need to get stronger than he ever imagined I could be. From day 75 to day 78, I kept thinking about how I should face Dorian the drowned necromancer. He had been a restless spirit for a lot longer than me, and maybe I'd have to become just as evil as him to have a fighting chance. But I don't want to be evil. I don't want to be that kind of HEROBRINE. Seeing that I was down, Sarah the Psychic Siren came to my room to cheer me up.
Zozo, I foresaw that you would be sad, so I made sure to give the base an almost invisible enchanted mist so it'd be hidden from attacks. That way, nobody will disturb us without us expecting it.
That's really good, Sarah. Thank you.
Let me tell you, Zozo, in my professional opinion as a psychic, I don't predict that you'll turn evil.
I hope I can live up to your predictions. I went outside for a bit to get some air, and shortly after, Victor the Vindicator Chef joined me with a fresh new magic cake that he had just baked.
Give this a try, Zozo. I think it might just pick you up.
Thanks, Victor. I gobbled up the cake and felt a transformation coming on. I doubled in size, and my heart gauge increased to contain 80 hearts. Victor sure knows how to cook. From day 79 to day 84, I went back to the wooded Badlands to see if I could face Dorian the drowned necromancer again. I knew this whole thing would be over if I could just shut him down. Dorian wasn't here himself, but it seemed like he might have used some of his necromancy to mobilize a few random skeletons to fight me. With my lightning strikes, I was easily able to blow away these weak undead. I wasn't satisfied with the amount of searching I'd done here, so I examined the structure more closely. That's when I noticed doors that led to a dwelling where a pink pixie was staying. Hello there, I'm Zozo. Do you know anything about who used to live here?
Yeah, I do. There was a village here that was destroyed by storms, a blizzard, and a thunderstorm. There was only one surviving villager, and he was really alone.
Was that villager HEROBRINE?
Yeah, this is the place where HEROBRINE's story began. The land has been cursed, and plants have never grown as well here since.
It's just like that curse that Dorian put on the ocean. I've got to put the hero in HEROBRINE and find a way to lift both of those curses.
This may help you in your journey, Zozo.
Pixie gave me a netherite helmet, an extremely durable piece of armor that would certainly give me a fighting chance the next time I saw Dorian. From day 85 to day 89, I returned to my base, excited to show my friends the awesome netherite helmet I'd been given. Instead, I found a bunch of dreadliches invading my base, trying to find and attack those same friends. Oh, I can't let this slide. I don't want to overuse my ghost powers, but for the sake of my friends, it's a risk worth taking. I started firing lightning blasts left and right, destroying them quickly and dropping their morale. The rest saw my skills and took off running, but I wasn't going to let an attack on my own base slide. I came running after them. But while chasing them, I ran into a troll who seemed to be crying. As much as I wanted revenge, I didn't want to leave a clearly distressed guy on the hook like that. So I asked him what was wrong.
I've been working on my novel, but I can't seem to get through it. I'm losing confidence in myself.
You can do it, Mr. Troll. Just believe in yourself and try to get past the first draft. I'll be excited to read it when it's done.
Thank you, kind stranger. I'll never forget this.
From day 90 to day 94, I followed the surviving Dreadliches into the snowy plains. It was freezing. I remembered what I had read about Dorian before. He needs to be cold. He must be hiding somewhere out here. I'm on his territory now. But I couldn't afford to worry about that just yet. I needed to track down and defeat those liches. Eventually, I caught up to them. They must have gotten exhausted and stopped. I finally had my chance. You guys are gonna pay for attacking my base.
Oh, Zozo, you're so naive. Dorian knew everything. He predicted exactly what you'd do. And now you're going to get destroyed.
You've never been able to destroy me before. What makes you guys think you're gonna be able to do it now?
Oh, it won't be us, Zozo. It'll be him.
A huge, terrifying Dread Knight stepped out, and the Dreadliches all ran off. He must have been one of Dorian's most dangerous henchmen yet. Even as a ghost, I think I'm gonna ache after this one. From day 95 to day 97, I went head-to-head with the Dread Knight. And he was as fast and as powerful as I'd feared. And as the battle went on, I was worried I might be doomed until I got a second wind and fought back with all of my might. Soon enough, I defeated even the terrible Dread Knight, the deadliest of Dorian the Drowned Necromancer's henchmen. I'm stronger than I've ever been, but does this mean I'm doomed to become evil and end up serving that monster? But my worried thoughts were interrupted by a new discovery. When the Dread Knight was defeated, he dropped a notebook containing instructions direct from the enemy. Destroy Zozo. He is unworthy of the title of HEROBRINE. Return to the Ice Cave when you are done. If you need anything extra to finish the job, check the chest behind the broken boulder. So now I knew that Dorian was hiding in some kind of ice cave, and that note about the chest really intrigued me. I searched the snowy plain until I found a boulder that looked half shattered, and then I found a chest behind it. And inside the chest was a battle axe. This belongs to Dorian. I can't wait to give it back to him. On day 98, I returned to my base to tell everyone who'd helped me how all of this was going to unfold. For all I knew, it might be my final chance to speak with them. Guys, I wanted to thank all of you for how much you've helped me. I never could have gotten this far without you. This final part is so dangerous that I have to do it alone. Dorian is more powerful than ever, but I'd rather be destroyed than let him use me as an evil tool.
There's no way he'd destroy you, Zozo. You're too powerful and too good-hearted. And in the end, the good guys always win, and the bad guys always lose.
Here, here. After you defeat him, Zozo, I'll bake a mighty cake that we can all enjoy.
And I'll farm all the best quality ingredients. You've got this, Zozo. I have full confidence in you.
You're all the best. I'm gonna defeat him for you, all of you, and I'm going to get my body back. On day 99, I ventured back to the snowy plains with everything I needed to finally take on the big, bad beast of a necromancer who stole my body. It's time for me to show you the door, Dorian. Didn't actually take me that long to find the ice cave that was Dorian's hideout because I spotted a large guard force of Dreadliches waiting outside, keeping a lookout. Talk about an undead giveaway. There were so many of them, and they looked better armed and armored than usual. Dorian must have known I was coming and put them here to slow me down before the final battle. It's an ingenious plan. What can I do?
I think I may be of service.
I turned and saw that Morgan the Gorgon was behind me. Morgan, what are you doing here?
Sorry for following you. I was gonna yell boo again, but it didn't seem like the right moment. I feel like I've been missing out on all the action. Let me distract these undead creeps, and you can go in there and take down the big bad guy.
Sounds like a great plan, Morgan. Let's do this. On day 100, while Morgan was distracting the Dreadliches outside, I entered the ice cave and found Dorian the Drowned Necromancer waiting for me.
You made it through my servants. How?
It's because I don't have servants. I have friends.
Oh, spare me all that self-righteous foolishness. You can't talk your way out of serving me. I brought you back. I bound you. You belong to me, Zozo, and nothing will change that.
I'm going to keep fighting, no matter what, for myself and my friends. And when I'm done, all you're going to be is a bad memory.
Then let's see. Time to go back to the void, silly little ghost.
I unleashed everything I had onto Dorian, not giving up, even as he fought back against me. I could tell as the battle went on, he was getting weaker and weaker. I pulled out the battle axe that Dorian had left for his Dread Knight to destroy me. I'm sure the void will welcome you, Dorian. And with one more strike, Dorian was no more. There was a tremendous flash, and in the moment that Dorian was destroyed, my body was returned to me. Wow, it feels amazing to be back. On day 1, I spawned into the middle of the Mojave Desert as a wild, wacky space alien. 4 hearts? I think I literally have 4 hearts in my chest, too. Being an alien sure is wild. I was ready to begin exploring the planet and collecting information to send back to the mothership when I was suddenly surrounded. A bunch of armored skeletons formed a ring around me, and the one who seemed to be their leader, a bejeweled ancient mummy, observed. What's going on here? I'm a visitor on this planet. I don't mean any harm.
Silence, you alien invader. You speak when spoken to. This isn't your world.
Take me to your leader. We can get this all straightened out. The armored skeletons parted to let the mummy step closer to me.
I am the leader here. Bow before the mighty Pharaoh Golden King.
That's him, by the way.
Do not interrupt me!
With one strike, the Pharaoh Golden King destroyed the underling that had interrupted him, and I had a feeling that I would be next. Diplomatic discussions have collapsed already. I'm out of here. I deployed my alien poison bomb attack and ran away as quickly as I could during the confusion.
Get him, you fools! I want that worthless invader destroyed!
I ran as fast as my alien legs could carry me under the boiling heat of the Mojave sun. This was meant to be a 100-day mission. I needed to survive that long and then get out of this nightmare. If only I could find a way to phone home. On day 2, I journeyed until I found a safer part of the Mojave. I need to follow the directive of my mission, but if I don't start building a roof over my head here, I'm gonna burn to a crisp in the Mojave heat. I'd received training on my home planet to build things in this strange place they called the Overworld. I found the nearest tree and broke it down, making a crafting bench and a wooden pickaxe to start with. Now let's source some harder materials. I used the wooden pickaxe to mine into the ground and collect some stone blocks, which I used to craft a pickaxe and a stone sword. Creation and destruction. Awesome! I started crafting myself a basic shelter made out of sandstone, only a living area with a bed and some shade to begin with. 2 days in, I was already so exhausted. I needed this. I took a break to replenish my energy, only to be ambushed by a gang of the armored skeletons who served Pharaoh Golden King. I keep telling you guys, I mean no harm. I'm just here to learn and discuss.
That poison bomb you unleashed told a different story, you little alien jerk.
I only did that for self-defense. Can't we just start from square one and reopen negotiations?
How about instead, we reopen your head with our swords? Get 'em, boys!
The armored skeletons attacked me, but thankfully, with my stone sword, I was able to fight them off and defeat them. That was a close one. I need to know when these things are coming for me in the future. That's why the last thing I did before going to bed was build a furnace into my base, gather some desert sand, and turn it into glass. I went to sleep in a base with some nice new windows, perfect for seeing threats from a long way away. On day 3, I decided to explore and try to discover new materials that I could potentially incorporate into my base. That's what led me to wandering through a nearby meadow. This place is so relaxing. It's the exact opposite of that exhausting, boiling nightmare of a desert. But that relaxation didn't last for long. A gang of mossy skeletons noticed that I was wandering through the meadow and decided it would be the perfect time to come and attack me. I'm already sick of fighting all these bony jerks. I managed to fight most of them off with my stone sword, but by the time I was almost through, I was exhausted, and there was still a mossy skeleton advancing towards me. Oh no! Then suddenly, an arrow flew out and destroyed the mossy skeleton in the nick of time, saving my life. The person who fired the arrow was a hairy troll. Thank you for saving my life there, stranger. I'm Zozo.
Don't mention it. You seem a little bit strange yourself, Zozo.
name's Harry. I'm guessing you're not from around here.
Was it that easy to guess? I'll be honest with you, I'm an alien from outer space, sent here on a fact-finding mission.
You better be careful. Pharaoh Golden King doesn't take kindly to outside visitors.
You don't need to tell me twice. He tried to destroy me when I first arrived. I was lucky to escape him and his armored skeletons with my life.
You met him and his guards and survived? That's fascinating. I've never even heard of that before. You must be really something special, Zozo.
You seem to know a lot about this. How about you come stay at my base while I figure everything out?
Sure, anything to get out of this awful heat. This planet needs AC.
So Harry the hairy troll, my first friend on this alien planet, followed me back across the meadow. From day 4 to day 5, Harry the hairy troll and I returned to my base camp in the Mojave Desert.
It's certainly sunny out here, I guess.
It's not too bad. I haven't been attacked by any giant mutant scorpions or anything. Yet. I am getting a bit hungry though. Trying to push the potential thoughts of giant mutant scorpions out of my head, I set about building new rooms and floors in my base for Harry to stay. He'd already saved my life from hostile locals once, so I figured he might be my good luck charm. How do you like the room, Harry?
It's not exactly the Ritz, but it'll do. Also here, have some steak. Not sure if you aliens eat that, but it tastes pretty good to me. Now if you'll excuse me, I'm gonna hit the hay and take a little nap.
Go for it, buddy. You've earned it. And thanks for the steak. It did indeed taste pretty delicious. And while Harry was napping, I had to repel another attack from a gang of Pharaoh Golden King's relentless armored skeletons.
We return in the name of Pharaoh Golden King, the almighty, divinely appointed ruler of this world. We will smite you until you are no more.
Not if I smite you guys first. I fired another poison bomb, disorienting the armored skeletons. Then I pulled out my stone sword and took each and every one of them out. Told you that you'd get smote. I also noticed that the armored skeletons had dropped a new weapon for me, a blowgun that fires poison darts. A long-range weapon, perfect! From day 6 to day 8, I was wandering out through the desert around my base and trying to herd desert rabbits back with me. But my attempts at herding those dusty bunnies were interrupted by another unwelcome guest. But it wasn't just a gaggle of minions this time, it was Pharaoh Golden King himself.
Your time is at an end, you extraterrestrial fool. You are facing Pharaoh Golden King, and as such, your annihilation is imminent.
I'm not afraid of you. I've defeated plenty of your goons already. How much worse could you be?
It's not just me. It's my weapon, the Dead Hand. Its decomposing nature eats through stone like acid. Let's see how it does against aliens.
The Pharaoh ran at me, and with one strike of his hand, I lost a lot of my health. It was terrifying. I turned and ran as quickly as I could as the Pharaoh continued to follow me, slashing with his hands. Gotta run, gotta run, gotta run! But even as I ran, Pharaoh Golden King kept gaining on me. I needed some way to distract him. I stopped and used my blowgun to fire a poison projectile right into his face.
Ah, no! How dare you! You're fighting like a filthy coward.
But I'd rather be a coward than destroyed. I ran away as quickly as possible, knowing there was no way I'd be able to face him at my current strength. This dusty old dictator really is a force to be reckoned with. From day 9 to day 10, I returned to my base to settle down and rest after having such a stressful day. Pharaoh Golden King was so much tougher than I thought. But while I was sitting around, moping, Harry the hairy troll came over to deliver some encouraging words.
Come on, Zozo. You came all the way across the galaxy to get here. You can't just give up now.
But he's so incredibly powerful, Harry. He tried to attack me again, and I barely escaped with my life.
But you did escape, Zozo. You escaped twice. Pharaoh Golden King has cut down everyone else who's faced him. But the fact that you got away more than once means something.
Yeah, I guess he may have a point there.
Head out into the yard, Zozo. I've been building something for you. I think you'll like it.
I went outside and saw with amazement that Harry had started building some kind of statue dedicated to me. I couldn't tell what it was yet, but I was already so excited to see how it was coming along. This is so cool. I can't wait to see what it is when it's finished. Do you have any idea what it will be? But that wasn't all that Harry had made for me. He'd also created a huge wall around the base to keep us protected from the attacks of the Pharaoh and his minions. I'm feeling a whole lot better already. From day 11 to day 12, my psychically sensitive alien brain received a telepathic vision while I was sleeping. It told me how Pharaoh Golden King first came to power. He was an ancient ruler who had been dead and locked away in a tomb for thousands of years, until one day, for reasons nobody understood, he resurrected. He also came back with all his undead warriors and servants, and everyone else was forced to do his bidding or be destroyed. Nobody on this world had ever found the secret to defeating him, but since I didn't come from this world, maybe I'd have a chance. From day 13 to day 15, I returned to the meadow, wanting to prove to myself that I could defeat a horde of mossy skeletons without Harry's help. Here, Skelly, 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 I'm all alone this time. Come and get me. That got their attention. A group of mossy skeletons came running towards me, heavily armed and ready to battle. But this time, so was I. I used my stone sword to battle them all myself, taking them out one by one until none remained. After defeating them, I gained enough XP to level up. I can feel myself growing. Whoa! This must be some kind of alien evolution. I got bigger, stronger. I now had 20 hearts, and it activated the stealth capabilities of my space skin, allowing me to briefly cloak myself and go unseen. The Pharaoh and his evil undead minions will never see me coming. From day 16 to day 19, I stumbled upon what seemed to be an abandoned mining village. The buildings seemed to be abandoned, so I followed the path to the top of the mountain, where the entrance to the mine seemed to be. I ventured down into the darkness of the abandoned mine. Seeing as I'd gotten a lot stronger, thanks to all my experience, it was the perfect time for my weapon to get stronger too. The data the mothership sent me suggests that iron is a stronger material than stone. I better forge my next weapons and tools out of iron. I traveled further into the mine until I found some iron ore, but it was being guarded by an extremely hostile armored zombie. I really need this iron. I guess you probably won't listen to me asking nicely, right? I turned invisible and pulled out my blowgun. With a few quick poison darts, the armored zombie was defeated. I stormed in and mined all the iron ore I could. Carrying this back to my base is gonna be a real pain in the butt. But when I arrived back at my base, I used my furnace to smelt the ore into enough ingots to make myself iron tools and some iron leggings. Oh yeah, this is more like it. From day 20 to day 22, I got a rude awakening with Harry the Hairy Troll running into my room in a panic. What's happening, Harry? You're freaking me out here.
It's the Pharaoh. He's right outside. He got in past the wall somehow. We need to do something.
Oh no, I don't think I'm ready for this.
You're gonna have to be ready, Zozo. We don't have a choice right now.
Without a moment to waste, I ran out of the building and faced Pharaoh Golden King in the courtyard. He was still holding his deadly hand up in the air.
You pulled a cowardly trick on me last time, Zozo. Will you fight like a true warrior now, or will you be a coward again? I've been wondering about it.
I have an answer for you, Pharaoh. I'll battle you right now. Head on. Let's do this.
At least you will be destroyed bravely now. Good boy.
The Pharaoh attacked me, and this time I fought back with my iron sword, never backing down, never relenting. After a tense battle, the Pharaoh broke away from the fight.
You've impressed me, Zozo. Perhaps you've earned a better death than this. We will meet again!
And with that, the Pharaoh fled. He told me he was impressed, but I knew the truth. He was scared. Scared not just of how strong I was, but of how strong I could get. There was hope for me yet. Maybe I won't just leave this planet. Maybe I'll save it first. From day 23 to day 26, I decided to upgrade my gear some more. I gathered up some iron, smelted it, and used that to craft myself an iron chestplate. I tried on my new chestplate, and I definitely felt more protected. Iron armor was definitely a good idea. Between this and how strong I'm going to get, I really think I've got a chance to save this planet. This really has been a heck of an adventure so far. There's always something new in store on this channel. Make sure to subscribe and search ZOZO to find more amazing Minecraft adventures. Now, back to my mission. From day 27 to day 31, Harry the Hairy Troll came to see me.
Zozo, I've done some more work on the statue. Come check it out.
Oh, okay. I followed him and took a look at the statue. I still couldn't tell what it was going to be yet, but it was definitely looking really cool. This is awesome.
Thanks, but I wanted to get your advice. I feel like it's missing something. What do you think would make it better?
I just want it to be the best statue ever.
Maybe it should be a little more colorful?
That's a great idea. But what could we use to add some color?
How about flowers? There are so many beautiful flowers on this planet.
Great! You can find lots of flowers in the meadow. If you go pick some, I can keep working here while you're gone.
Sounds like a plan. See you later, Harry. So I headed out to the meadow and started looking around for the prettiest flowers I could find. It smells great out here. Who knew there was so much beauty on this planet? There's so much worth fighting for, and so much I want to protect from the Pharaoh. Just as I said that, I saw some of the Pharaoh's armored skeletons destroying a bunch of flowers. Hey, stop that!
We are acting on the orders of Pharaoh Golden King. You presume to defy his word?
You got that right. It's cowardly to hurt flowers. Pick on someone who can fight back.
If you insist.
The armored skeletons attacked me, but my new chestplate kept me safe and gave me enough time to swing my iron sword back at them. Soon enough, I defeated them. I grabbed some flowers and got ready to head back to my base. From day 32 to day 35, I was about to go back to my base when I came across a group of desert skeletons. I wasn't trying to pick a fight, but they attacked me anyway, so I had to destroy them. I come in peace, but that doesn't mean I'm a pushover. Just then, a wood villager came over to talk to me.
Excuse me, I saw how well you fought those desert skeletons. Could you help me with something important?
Sure, what's going on?
The desert lord has kidnapped my swamp pig. He claims that as a lord, he has fair ownership of all pets in the area. But that doesn't seem right to me. Maybe I'm wrong. I didn't go to law school.
No, you're right. He can't just steal your pet like that. I'll help get your piggy friend back.
Oh, thank you. You're the kindest, well, whatever you are, that I've ever met.
I'm an alien, but more importantly, I'm Zozo. No time to waste. Let's get that pig. From day 36 to day 39, the wood villager told me where to go to find the desert lord. He was hiding out in a base in the savannah. I followed the villager's directions until I found the desert lord's base. This must be the place. Let's see what the deal is over here. Staying out of sight and making sure the desert lord didn't spot me, I crept around the area looking for clues. Inside the walls, I spotted a cage with a swamp pig inside. That must be the stolen pig, but how can I get him out? Just then, the desert lord came out of his base. I quickly turned invisible to hide from him as he walked up to the cage.
I hope you're getting used to your new home, little pig, because you're never going back to that loser owner of yours. The only way out is this key of mine that I never let out of my sight. So I'd like to see him try to get you back. Just kidding, he won't, because like I said, he's a loser.
If I want to rescue the swamp pig, I'm gonna have to get that key. Looks like the only way to do that is to get him to drop it somehow. I know, I'll turn visible right in front of him and scare the pants off of him. He'll be so startled, he'll probably just drop the key. Oh, what a great plan! From day 40 to day 43, I set my plan into motion and worked on getting the key from the desert lord. Staying invisible, I snuck up behind him, then became visible again just as he turned around. Boo!
Whoa, that was pretty scary. I almost dropped my key, but I didn't because I heard you coming. Fool, you can't best the lord of the desert so easily.
You know what? I'm getting pretty sick and tired of guys like you who think they can push everyone around just because they woke up one day and decided to be in charge. It's not fair.
I don't know how they do things on your planet, but here, life ain't fair.
Not if I have anything to say about it. I drew my sword and attacked. For someone who talked such a big game, the desert lord wasn't very good at fighting, and before long, I had knocked the key out of his hand. I quickly grabbed it. While I was doing that, the desert lord ran away.
You haven't seen the last of me.
I hope that's not true. Anyway, time to save this pig. I unlocked the cage, and the swamp pig came running out. Let's get you back to your owner. I took the swamp pig back to the wood villager.
Thank you, Zozo. Thank you so much. I missed you, Snuffles. Welcome back home. I'll never let anyone take you ever again.
From day 44 to day 49, I headed back to my base with the flowers for Harry's statue. Here you go. I hope they give the statue the pop of color you were looking for.
These are perfect. Thank you, Zozo.
Great! I'll leave you to your project then. With Harry busy working on the statue, I decided to make some improvements to the base myself.
I'd like to have a way to keep a better eye on things and make sure no one tries to mess with us. If only I had some sort of tower that I could watch everything from. Wait a second, that's it! With that idea, I decided to build a watchtower. I also extended the walls to prevent the scenario from last time when Pharaoh Golden King just walked in. When I was all done, I went back to check on Harry and see how the statue was going.
I used the flowers to add some color.
Looks great! What is it though?
You'll have to wait and see.
From day 50 to day 53, that new watchtower came in handy because I could see the Pharaoh coming with a bunch of his armored skeletons. I got ready to fight them off, but there were a whole lot of them.
Zozo, I see you are still attempting to defy me rather than accept your fate.
Why don't you come over here and fight me about it?
Why should I dirty myself with the work of a peasant when I am the almighty ruler? No, I will watch from afar as my army decimates your little home.
He raised his hand, and the armored skeletons swarmed around my base. There were so many of them, I could barely keep up. While I was trying to fight off the skeletons, Harry the hairy troll wandered over, taking a break from his statue building.
Hey, what's going on out here?
Seize the hairy one.
Wait, no one sees me.
A bunch of armored skeletons grabbed Harry and ran away with him. I was so busy fighting off skeletons that I couldn't stop them.
I'm off to hide your little friend somewhere you'll never find him.
No! But it was too late. The Pharaoh was gone, and so was Harry. There were still plenty of skeletons left to fight too. After a while, I managed to defeat them, and even though I was worried about Harry, I couldn't help but get excited. My hearts increased to 40, and I grew bigger and stronger. I gained a new alien ability too, Energy Blasts. From day 54 to day 57, I got to work repairing the damage that the armored skeletons had done to my base. I had to patch up one of the walls. I also added some gates to the walls, since having walls with an open entrance has proven to not be a very effective defense strategy. Now that that's done, I need to figure out how to get Harry back. I wonder who can help me. Hey, that wood villager seemed to know a lot about bad guys who abuse their power. I'll ask him about the Pharaoh. I traveled to the meadow and found the wood villager there, frolicking through the flowers with his swamp pig. Hey there, sorry to interrupt, but the Pharaoh kidnapped my friend, and I really need to get him back.
Oh, no! Well, I know what it's like to have someone steal your friend away from you. You helped me, so I'll do my best to help you in return. I've heard a rumor that the Pharaoh takes his prisoners to a base in the Shattered Glacier, but you'll need stronger weapons and armor to go there. He's got all kinds of guards. You're not ready dressed like that. No offense.
None taken. I'll work on a wardrobe upgrade. Thanks.
Bye, Zozo. I hope you find your friend.
From day 58 to day 62, I headed back down into the abandoned mine to look for more resources. If I'm going to take Wood Villager's advice, I need to find some diamonds. I've heard they're an alien's best friend. At least when it comes to upgrading armor and weapons, that is. Otherwise, my best friend is definitely still Harry. Speaking of which, I've got to get mining so I can save him. I started mining, looking for the telltale sparkle of diamonds. While I was digging, a mossy skeleton came out of nowhere and attacked me. Hey, I'm mining here. The mossy skeleton didn't care. And hey, look, diamonds! I gathered the diamonds, took them back to my base, and used them to craft a diamond pickaxe and a diamond sword. I feel much better about my chances now. From day 63 to day 66, I wandered around my base for a little while. I knew I needed to keep going, but I was feeling so sad about Harry being gone. What if I couldn't get him back? I decided to go check out the statue and see what he was working on. I still don't know what it is, but it looks so good so far. I hope Harry will be able to come back and finish it. If he doesn't, I don't know if I could do it by myself. But no, I can't think like that. He'll come back, he'll finish the statue, and we'll enjoy it together. I saw a note left on the ground by the statue. Oh, maybe this is about the statue. No, it just says, make sure to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Weird. Anyway, I'm gonna get back to work finding Harry. From day 67 to day 70, I took my new diamond weapons and traveled to the Shattered Glacier to find Harry the Hairy Troll. When I got there, I saw a base that had to belong to the Pharaoh. It was covered in gold. Time to rescue Harry. I started to head toward the entrance, but then I saw all the armored skeletons positioned outside. Uh-oh, gotta take care of these guys first. I turned invisible, snuck up on the armored skeletons, then hit them with my energy blast. While they were recovering from that, I swung at them with my diamond sword. Before too long, I had defeated every single one of the skeletons. Then I got ready to head deeper into the base. Hold on, Harry, I'm coming to rescue you. From day 71 to day 74, I continued my fight deeper into the Pharaoh's prison base. Along the way, I found some throwing axes on the ground. A skeleton must have dropped these. Well, I guess no one's using them, so I might as well take them. I picked up the throwing axes and kept looking. Harry, are you here?
Zozo? Is that you?
Yes, where are you?
I'm in here, help me.
I followed the sound of Harry's voice and found him in a cell. Stand back.
What are you going to do?
Watch this. I fired an energy blast at the bars, breaking them apart. Come on out. Harry ran out of the opening in the bars.
Be careful, the Pharaoh is right upstairs.
Then we'll have to move quietly. I can turn invisible, but you can't, so let's move slow and keep it down.
You've got it.
Together, Harry and I started sneaking out of the prison. I kept my sword ready, just in case we ran into any trouble. From day 75 to day 78, Harry the Hairy Troll and I snuck out of the Pharaoh's prison. We were just about to pass through the door to freedom when I suddenly heard the Pharaoh's voice behind me.
Come to rescue your friend, I see. You did well, far better than I would have anticipated. I underestimated you again, my mistake. Pity neither of you will be making it out of here alive.
You've said that kind of thing before, and every time I've proven you wrong. You said it yourself. You underestimated me.
Silence!
Get behind me, Harry. Harry jumped behind me, and I got my diamond sword ready to go. I fired an energy blast at the Pharaoh, but he was too far away.
You will have to do better than that.
He swung his hand at me. I fired another energy blast, and this one made contact with the Pharaoh. Gotcha!
Thank you for the energy, Zozo. A fitting offering for a ruler of my caliber. Let me put it to good use.
From day 79 to day 84, I watched as the Pharaoh began to transform. Instead of hurting him, the energy from my energy blast attack had given him the power to change. He started growing larger and stronger until he was twice as big as he was before. Uh-oh.
Uh-oh is right. In this form, nothing shall stand in my way.
Let's get out of here, Harry.
Run all you like. You won't get far. I will find you. You can run, but you cannot hide.
Might as well try. Harry and I started running and ran all the way back to the base. The Pharaoh didn't chase us, but I knew that wouldn't be the last time I saw him. From day 85 to day 89, Harry and I made it back to the base. That was a close one.
It sure was. Hey, now that we have a second, I have something I think you'll want to see. It's part of an escape shuttle you can use to return to your home planet once the Pharaoh is defeated. It just needs you to fix it up a little bit.
That's amazing, thank you so much. I'll get started on this right away.
While you do that, I'm gonna get back to my statue. It's almost finished.
While Harry went to finish the statue, I started working on my escape shuttle. It seemed so impossible before, but now maybe I would get to go home. But I needed a way to contact home first, and I still needed to take care of the Pharaoh.
Come look, Zozo, it's all done.
I went to go check out the statue, and I was amazed. Harry had built me a radar antenna so I could send a signal into space. I can use this to phone home.
Yes, that's the idea.
Well, why did I need the flowers?
Just to remind you to stay positive while we're trying to sort everything out.
Thank you so much. Now, if only I knew what to do about that Pharaoh.
I might have an idea for that too. I heard that there's a desert lord out in the savannah who might know something.
I remember that guy. I'll go check it out. From day 90 to day 94, I went to the desert lord's house in the savannah. You again? What do you want? I heard you might be able to help me take down the Pharaoh. Why would I do that? You stole my swamp pig. You stole him first. All right, you got me there. So, are you gonna help me? Fine, why not? I never liked that Pharaoh much anyway. Always walking around like he's so much better than me, showing off that scepter or whatever it is. I think I have something that'll help. Here, he handed me a mace. It looked super sharp. Oh wow, this is really nice. How come you've never tried to use it to fight the Pharaoh yourself? Sounds like a lot of work. I'd rather let someone else take care of him instead. Like you. Okay, I guess. Well, thanks for the weapon. Don't steal any more pets, okay? No promises. From day 95 to day 97, I returned to my base with my new mace. This is great, but if I'm going to be ready to face the new, bigger, stronger pharaoh, I need to up my firepower and my armor too. I decided to head back into the mines and see what I could find. If I was a bunch of diamonds, where would I be? Let's see. I mined for a long time and finally found some diamonds, but that wasn't enough. I needed to keep looking. I found a chest in the mine and opened it. Inside, there was a book with a fire aspect enchantment. This is amazing. I'll use this to enchant my mace. Then it can catch enemies on fire. On my way out of the mine, I spotted one more thing. Some Molotov cocktails were sitting on the ground. There were even more in the chest next to them. Now that's what I'm talking about. Since I can't use my energy blast without making him bigger, I need to use all of these instead. I took everything I found and headed back to my base. There, I enchanted my mace and used the diamonds to craft a full set of diamond armor. On day 98, I was testing out all my new weapons and equipment at my base. I threw a Molotov cocktail and watched it explode. That's gonna do some damage, for sure. Next, I tested out my newly enchanted mace, which was even more powerful than it was when the Desert Lord gave it to me. It's all coming together. I was pretty worried before, but things are starting to work out, and I think I can really do this. I can't wait to phone home and tell him what I did. But I can't get too ahead of myself. I've got to defeat the pharaoh first. Also, I have to remember that you can find more Zozo videos by searching ZOZO, and be sure to leave a comment about what you want to see next. You might see your idea in our next video. On day 99, I took all of my new equipment and traveled back to the Shattered Glacier. When I reached the pharaoh's base, I got ready for what was in store. No turning back. It's now or never. Let's do this. I got past the armored skeletons with no trouble this time. Then I headed deeper into the base to look for the pharaoh. I turned invisible while I searched, wanting to get that element of surprise this time. Finally, I reached the throne room where the pharaoh was sitting. Pharaoh, it's time for us to end this. I appeared in front of him and he stood up, brandishing his hand.
I agree. Time for the best to be crushed once and for all. You chose to invade this realm that belongs to me. Now you must face the consequences. I let you live for far too long, little alien.
Enough talking. I came here to fight. I swiped at him with my mace and it did some damage, but the fire enchantment also burned him. I attacked and got a good hit in. I also shot a few blow darts at him, but they did almost nothing. Throwing a poison grenade seemed to have some effect, so I kept on swinging my mace. The energy of the enchantment rushed through me, and I felt myself evolving again. I grew stronger, my heart increasing to 100. I felt something itching in my eyes, like something was about to happen. Suddenly, I fired a laser beam from my eyes. It hit the pharaoh, knocking him back and blinding him.
No, that can't be.
Yes, it can. I may not be from this world, but I sure am gonna save it. With that, I threw a Molotov cocktail at the blind pharaoh. He frantically ran all over the palace until he perished. It was the final thing I needed to defeat the pharaoh. On day 100, I returned to the base to tell Harry that it was all finally over. I did it! I defeated the pharaoh. I'll never terrorize anyone here again.
Thank you, Zozo. That's amazing. Do you want to use the radar to call home?
Yeah. Also, I like the work you did to the place while I was gone. Good job. You can live here once I'm gone.
Thank you very much, Zozo. This means a lot.
I used the radar to send a Morse code message to my home planet. It's me, Zozo. I saved the people of this planet from a great evil. And now, it's time for me to come back home. I'll see you all soon. Then, I finished up my shuttle, and it was finally ready for me to board it and fly back to my planet. But first, I had to say goodbye to Harry. Thank you for everything. I'll miss you.
I'll miss you too. You've been a great friend. Come back and visit, won't you?
I'll do my best. Think of me whenever you look up at the stars. You just might be looking at my planet. I hopped in my shuttle and flew off into space. Finally, it was time to go home.